And hello, everybody, to another episode of Hairyman Hoaxes and Hoodwinks Late Night. How's everybody doing? Oops, look, I'm doing an echo. Echo, echo, echo. It was a surprise, huh? It was a surprise to meet you. That's what happens when you have rum and Coca Cola. Cheers, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy first of the April. Happy Fool's Day. I have no fools in me. No fools tonight, for sure. Okay, enough of that. Done with that one. It's catchy for only so long, right? Anyway. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, let me see. I didn't even put the late night background on. I'm so bad. Let's see. Do I even have a late night background? No, I have the one from last week. I need to make a generic one for the back. Um, let's see. Do I even have anybody here other than 9 people? And I know I saw Wit. Wit came over here and Timmy Boy came over here right away. Oh, my dog just opened the door. Dang it. Um, thank you very much, Guysis, for coming along and saying hello and having another. I know it's Friday night and it's late and you're all at home. So you can be on here. It's okay. Look, I even got Joe to be here. Howdy, Joseph.
I'm not wearing any pants.
That is what I'm talking about, peoples. I'll make us smaller. I hate it when I'm all big on this thing. That is, see,
How
people,
are you?
that's what I'm talking about. I'm having another rum and coke and having a Friday night. I have to keep it on this side though, because I always spill it on this side. So,
I'm
what was I
drinking
saying?
almost
Oh,
the
I was saying,
same thing as you.
are you? Well, my
I'm
first one was
drinking
a regular
almost the
rum and
same thing as you, except for
no alcohol.
this is just Coke, no
Coke.
rum.
Okay.
So I got half of what you got.
Whatever floats your boat. I'm not pregnant. Mm. Anyway, what was I gonna say?
Hey,
Timmy boy, hello. B was here, but I think she had to leave. I said goodbye to her. Um, because she said she'd watch me later. And she always does because she always leaves a nice comment. And Cindy will be here for a little while. And there's Wit. Invited all the usual suspects. Thank you much. Oh, I should invite Scotty to come on. Oh, I took off Facebook. Now I gotta go back and do that so I can get in touch with him. Um, I don't think because I saw him on earlier, so he may not be working. Where is he? Where is he? Has it been that long since I talked to him? I'm gonna have to. Boy, I'm blind. Okay, let me
ah,
Scott,
Timmy
there he
Boy's
is.
not wearing any pants either.
Scotty. Paste and send. And boom.
Slack.
Okay.
Thank
Sent
you,
that to
Slackman.
him.
It is a fancy hat. It's a very fancy hat. I like this. I don't know why, but I refer to it as my Samuel L. Jackson hat. I don't know why. I could just
Oh,
picture him
yeah.
wearing one of
It
these hats.
does. It kind of does. It really does.
Mhm.
It's too late for Papa C too. I was going night night. Yeah, a lot of people go night night. That's why I call this the late show because it's only for the tough ones. It was definitely not for the young ones because I ain't young. So it's for the crazy one. There's my sister. Did I send you a link? Sister, sister?
Well,
Or are you in sleep already? In the bed? Are you in
you
the
know,
bedroom?
age is a funny thing, Nikki. I mean, it's a funny because anybody younger that is young, and once you get to a certain age,
Yeah, you have
it's
to be.
like
You know, I'm trying to have
I'm
fun.
closing in on 60, and it's like I got guys that are 70 going, you're still young, you know.
Policy.
80-year-old, 90-year-old looks at a 70-year-old and goes, you're a kid. I mean, it's kind of relative.
Right, right. Well, there's a chat. In the link is in the chat. How's that? The link. The link. The link is in the chat. Nope, you didn't send me a
What's
link.
up,
Just
Polly
got home from
T?
dinner. Oh, you went for barbecue. I made rice and fajitas. It was good. It was very good. Jimbo, what's up, Jimbo? Where are you from, Mr. Jimbo? I know I think I've looked at that before. Look who it is. It's a fearless Frankfurter.
Hey guys, how
Hello,
you doing?
Mr. Frankfurter.
I didn't want to be a
Hey,
band of
Polly, what's
sausage,
up?
so I didn't want to false advertise, and I'm kind of over advertising as a footer, but
The Frank Park
I'm
right.
gonna beat the crap out the sides a little bit, but yeah, it's all good. Sats,
What do you
you old war dog. How you doing, you dazzling door dashing bastard?
Hey,
Hey, you know what?
things could be a lot worse. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, no kidding. They could be a lot better. You're Colombian. You're drinking Coke. What the hell are you doing, man? You're 60 years old. You're gonna have a heart attack. Stop that crap.
Not yet.
Probably
60.
true.
It's
Joe, I
around the
love you,
corner.
buddy. Good to see you. Nikki, thank you for accepting the friend request and hello. And
Oh,
hello,
yeah.
chat. How's everybody doing? It's Friday night. We all got nothing better to do. Hey, I'm
Yep.
going to give you a little. That's what I'm doing right there. So, I got my little
Well,
Blockbeard swagger
cheers to
going on.
you.
I need my little pirate flag eye patch and puffy shirt like Jerry Seinfeld, and I can go, yeah.
Yep. I'm doing the R. The
That's it.
R's tonight.
I want to do that so bad when I'm drunk in the passenger seat of a car and the cop pulls us over and I go, yeah, you scallywag. What are you doing pulling us over? I'll make you walk the plank. I'll take the breathalyzer. I ain't driving. Go fuck yourself.
Oh man.
Anyway,
Oh jeez.
what's good, guys? What are you doing?
Choo. Nothing. We're just hanging tonight. We're just kind of
Yeah,
like,
I saw it pop up. I wanted to come on the other night, but I was going to bed. And it's like this new job. I work like 6 to 2, sometimes 6 to 3, 6 to 4.
yeah, that's
So,
early. Mm,
yeah, I'm getting up at 4 a.m. so I can be there on
yeah.
time. So I kind of have to
I,
curtail a lot of the YouTube stuff because I can't participate. And Joe, I haven't abandoned your show. I got locked out of my account and stuff, and I can't get into my Paulie T account, so I can't post videos.
mm,
Yeah, so I got to do this crap all over again, and
Huh.
I'm gonna put the eye patch on the other side and say, "Yar, and his twin brother, Blackbeard."
I'm horrible with all my passwords and everything. I have to write everything down and keep it here in the desk because,
Yeah, Nikki, valuable
oh,
lesson. I said that on Mogs' show, and I
Yeah.
can't preach it enough. You have to keep a hard copy of all your stuff,
yeah.
usernames, passwords, because you forget about it. On your apps and your
Hmm.
phone, you
Yeah,
just
everything
you
logs in
push it on.
automatically.
Yeah, and you go there. It's like phone numbers, right? When you were a kid, I can call
Oh,
10 of my best friends, and I still remember the numbers, and I'm 52 years old.
yeah.
Somebody new I meet, they're like, "Hey, here's my number." I'm like, "Who the fuck are you?" You know what I mean? Sorry, sorry. I got
I
a bad
know.
month. I apologize. I'm
I
gonna quit
hear
truck
you though.
drivers.
That was the same. I still remember all the phone numbers I used to call as well. and now I can't remember jack crap. It's like, what?
But if it was a hairy man, I remember him.
Yikes.
He had a duck's ass on his when you comb your hair in the back. What's that? Ducktail, duck's ass.
Oh,
Joe,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it is
Joe, when
isn't
you
it?
comb your hair like your Fonzie in the
Dovetail?
back there, what's that called?
Is it a dovetail?
Yeah, it used to be called ducktail. Yeah, ducktail.
Ducktail.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. So it's a duck's ass tail,
yeah,
and
ducktail.
it's got feathers and it flares out like a turkey.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm
I had
sorry.
a little thing in the back that they used to call. You know what a cowlick is, right?
yeah.
What's that? When you're a
It's like
baby and
there's
they
a
bring you to
certain
a dairy
area of
farm
your
and a cow
hair.
licks your hair and it stays that way like you get gel in it. Something about Mary
One of the
style.
little
Yeah, it's like a swirly thingy. Yeah,
yeah.
Hey, in
I used
Portugal,
to have
Joe, they call
a
that a
nasty
cuticle.
cowlick in the back. Couldn't get rid of it.
All them guys get like the moose. They put it in their hair and they're like, "Hey, look at my cuticle. It's like a wave on the ocean. In Hawaii, you surfing.
Really?
Look at this."
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Flock of
sorry.
seagulls, man.
I
Flock of
ran.
seagulls. That was
Just run the hell away from me. You'll be good.
that was a hell of a hairdo.
Oh man, and they played that on
But
MTV like every other song.
So, how old are you, Nikki? I know you're not supposed to ask a woman. I apologize. I'm not trying to
No, I'm
be
proud of
fresh.
how old I am. I'm 52.
Me too. Said 1970 baby, no?
Yeah.
Good for
80,
you.
80, 80, 80,
Yeah,
88.
yeah. Joe was born right after Ramses the Fifth or something. He's got his own little pyramid that's buried in the sand. They ain't found that shit yet. No, I'm kidding, Joe. I'm only making fun.
Ramses
But
the fifth. I don't know.
so look, you look at the '60s, right?
That's
And
right.
you're like, oh my God, these guys are free love,
That's right.
free, this, they're doing drugs, they're all happy
Right.
and stuff, right? And then you get '80s, '70s babies, right? We had the greatest the music. We had
We
Devo,
did.
right? We had Devo with they had like skeets on their head from the shooting range, right? And then you had hair bands, so, dude, you had this such diverse complexity of music,
Mhm.
right? And it was so
Right.
influential in the fashion and everything that went into it, right?
Mhm.
But when you hear Cyndi Lauper, you're like, girls just want to have fun. And I know Joe sings this while he's door dashing because I just know he does it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And on warm days
There's
with the
a
windows rolled down and everything.
He's calling Molly, going, Molly, Lisa's on the radio right now. She's like, oh my God, it's Cyndi Lauper.
That's me, man. Yes, right.
No.
Girls just want to have fun.
even in the 70s when we were little kids, okay, say 6, 7, we're outside all the time, our little transistor radios.
Yep.
And what was on at that time? Disco was huge right at that time.
I
So you were
remember.
constantly hearing Gloria Gaynor, Barry Manilow.
Hey, Nikki, subject matter of that song, though, I Will Survive, right?
Yeah.
No matter what facet of life it is. I mean, I know it's music and I know it's a song, but it's relevant any way you go. You will survive. Yep. If you're a survivor, you're a fighter, you're going to push and you will survive. It doesn't matter what the obstacle is. I mean, it's irrelevant at that point. It's about survival, right? Mm-hmm. So great. This is why I love music. It's the great communicator, dude. Language barriers do not matter. If it makes you shake your rump, it's good. If it doesn't, then you don't listen to it. So.
But I mean, our music, the 70s, 80s,
absolutely,
even into the 90s, stuff was still where I remember, not maybe all the lyrics, but I remember a lot of them. And I have good recall about that. But I don't know any of the new songs that are just not, they don't grab me like the songs of
these
the
kids
80s.
These kids today suck. Their music sucks. They suck, period. But anyway.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
Well, Joe, listen.
You like a lot of the new stuff
and you would think that,
they don't play
every now and then I come across some stuff that are always going to be the ones that I grew up with, man. I'm always going to be a heavy metal
dude,
kid,
if they have
a
good
classic
parents,
rock guy.
Actually parent,
and
not be their friend, and not coddle them, and try to be buddy with them. And if you,
but I
give them
do
the support
find
they need it.
New music
Well, I have to listen to
Yeah,
new
but
music
yeah,
because I
what are
have
you
a
talking about,
15-year-old
Paulie?
in the house, you know? So I
No,
have to. I
Joe, I'm
have to
saying,
listen to that
But
stuff.
no, I think there's some bands that come out that
oh,
yeah,
of course,
they're not
dude,
what
huh?
I grew up listening, but there's something about them, that and I can't pull one off the top of my head, but I find myself
The
often,
Gorillas,
like, wow,
close to
man,
Bigfoot,
that's
right?
pretty
They're
cool tune,
hairy, they're
man.
big.
Mm.
Dude, I mean, there
Yeah,
is good music, Joe. But what
something like
my
that.
overall point is, they have Pro Tools. Their stuff's being done on a computer. It's not in a studio, reel to reel, being recorded in real time, and it all sounds the same. You know what I mean? You're not getting that.
Yeah, it's very synthetic. It's
Yeah,
very
it's generic.
created.
It's generic,
It's
Nikki, and it's all the same.
yeah.
But
And you know
special,
what? They can't
You
even come up
it's
with
like a
a lot of their own music. They're stealing ours and remaking it. Have you
yeah, that's
noticed
it.
that?
Well, I mean,
There's a lot of our songs
well,
in
that's
the rap,
because,
being redone.
Nikki, in the
it's
rap game, I respect that. That's kind of it's kind of a compliment. You know what I mean? Because this stuff is so good,
Mhm.
I got to steal it, right?
Yeah.
It's like a hot car. I want to take it for a ride and drive it like I stole it.
Yeah, the
well,
rap
rock and
scene has
roll's never
never
gonna
went
in songs
back.
before. Rock and roll's not gonna die. Never will. Never will. Rock and roll
Yeah,
was
it
one of the
won't.
epitomes
Rock
and
and
genre
roll
that
is
came
just
out
rock
that
and roll, right,
just
Joe?
it has a timelessness to it that
Yeah, it's not going away.
will
They're
always
right.
be included in everybody's music because the rock and beat is,
Mhm.
you know,
Right.
so. But
So
yeah,
if we
music
wanted
is
to go to
cool, man. I mean,
Christian
hey,
rock, Joe,
another song
God
that I
gave
like,
rock and roll to
their
you.
fearless Frankfurter. I love the song. It's raining men.
Oh yeah.
It's
Hallelujah.
raining men.
Man.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Joe, crack
It's
the
really
whip.
good.
It's
I
raining
mean,
men.
it's just
Hey,
like
hey, hey.
it's a toe tapper.
Any
It's a toe
Donna
tapper.
Summers, oh, she kicked
Yeah.
ass. She was iconic.
Nikki, the whole Motown thing, right? They had this
Well,
whole
it's
thing,
funny,
this
I
whole
mean,
groove, brewing up in
Mhm.
Detroit, right? And
Right?
it isn't for people of color. You know what I mean? It's for people with soul. You know what I mean? When you
Yeah,
feel
I
that,
agree
it's
with
like
that.
blues and all that. There's no label on that shit, man. I mean,
No,
everybody
you
thinks
either
it because
feel the music or you don't,
you don't. If your
Yeah,
heart's in it and you feel it, it is. If it isn't, it isn't. It's cut and dry. But the way that everything's brought to the world today, it's all about color, race, money. You know what I mean? Where your place
right.
is, your pecking order in society, and that's
Mhm.
not really the truth. Because there's good and bad, just like in the Bigfoot community, in the world, people in general. There are good people like both of you. Me, I'm on the borderline. I'm shady, but I'm just saying, both of you, you guys are cool. You know what I mean? Especially Joe. He's got to be
Ah.
cool in his old age. He's gonna go. He's like that Japanese guy that puts the cabbage leaf under his ball cap to keep his head cool in the fucking baseball game or something. You know what I mean? This is the way it is. And,
Ah.
I hate when people say I don't see color. That's a
it's
lie.
not
It is a
a
total
bad
lie because you know
idea.
what? We all see what we want to see, and you all
Absolutely.
can make your own assumption of what it is. Bad cannot fucking camouflage itself for a long time. It'll come right to the top. It's
Right.
like the cream rises to the top, right? And good people are consistent, like we all are. We try to do
Yeah.
our best every day. We go out there, we're polite, we're nice, because it costs nothing, man. You would think that, being nice costs $1 million.
Oh,
It costs
it
shit. You know what I mean? You can go up,
doesn't
just smile
cost
at somebody.
anything to smile.
It
I was
costs
just gonna
nothing.
say that, Holly. I was just gonna say that a smile is infectious, and it
Is
takes so little to do that, you know?
So when
But
Joe goes
it's
to,
really hard wearing a mask, for
yeah,
a
they
while
can't
there,
unless you
it
get X-ray
was
vision or that, them cheap glasses they charge $5.95 for X-ray glasses. You can see through people's clothes, right? Joe remembers that in the
right.
comic books. He bought like 5 pairs. They never got to his house, but he bought them.
Mm,
What? I'm wrong, Joe.
notice a fade.
Well, no,
I never got them either.
Mm.
everything froze on me there for a second.
Yeah, you've been freezing out a little
Yeah,
bit.
everything
Is
froze
she
on me.
playing her games again?
No, it must
Um,
be me.
no, I don't
Uh,
think so. She's asleep, I
no,
think.
it's cool. It's cool. You're not bad.
No, those
You're not.
X-ray glasses, those things sucked, man. when I was a kid, I was so wanting a pair of those glasses so I could see through ladies' dresses, man.
I bought 10. I
They
bought
don't
10
work.
pairs. Never got one.
Oh,
Hey,
Well,
but
see,
you
Joe,
well,
mowed
at
a
least
lot
I
of
got you
lawns,
on that
right?
one.
Joe, I just
I
want to
only,
share this with you.
I only bought one. I only bought one pair and said these things don't work.
Right, and I just want to share this with you since I bought 100 pairs. When you got a good pair that actually worked, it was like looking at a Sears catalog. It did you no justice, brother. They airbrushed that shit out, so you saw nothing. You're like Schultz on Hogan's Heroes. I saw nothing.
I saw nothing. I know nothing.
Yeah, we know that, Joe. You don't have to tell us. You don't have to tell
Oh
us, buddy.
man! Somebody said
And
Tool.
I only say that because I
Oh,
love you, dude.
Tool.
Timmy Boy says
What did
I'm suspect now. I guess because I love Raining Men.
No, he's not, Timmy.
Tool?
Stop.
What
I
did
love the
Tool
Joe is
song.
sing?
Joe is one of the most.
Well, you never
solid
know,
people.
man.
Respect for you. I love that guy right there. He's cool shit.
I've never had a gay encounter, but hey, there's still time. I'm not
Oh
dead
my
yet.
God, Joe.
So.
Is Molly listening to this? She's gonna divorce her. You know why I like Dickie so much? Because she was on Mogs' show one time, and I made everybody laugh, and I busted out with a little "see ya," right? And she's like, "Oh my God, I just put my fucking mascara on. Now I got to do this shit all over again." And I was like, "That's a good woman right there." She's like, "Damn it." I like coming in and I like disrupting stuff, and sometimes I'm too much. Sometimes I'm over the top. I'm the most offensive person you'll ever meet in your life. But I'm a byproduct of my generation, There's things that we could say, Nikki, you, me, even Joe, because he was on the cusp of it, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But there was things that we said and did, right? In today's world, totally unacceptable. You can't do that.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
can't do that. Why the fuck can't I? I've been doing it my whole life. What do you mean? Tell me, stop. Hooked on phonics? No, stop. We're not doing that. Shadowed World, good tune. Love Tool.
See,
I
you
couldn't
guys asked
remember the
for it.
song.
You got
3
it.
times. First time I saw them, they oversold the concert, and I think it was Anemia. And they played 5 songs, and the people outside were pissed they couldn't get in because they could hear the music, and they kicked the fucking doors, and they shut the show down, and everybody had to go home. That was, I think that was either at the Strand or the Living Room. I can't remember. Providence, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Wow.
But, yeah, and there's my point, right? I mean,
now I want to hear the whole song.
What the hell is going on? I don't know. Yeah, so that's not what I grew up with, but and here I am, I don't know if a lot of people expect a 58-year-old guy to be like know who Tool is or would care about who Tool is or so that's just like one of the bands. I was never familiar with that, but I'll find them,
Right.
Joe,
for example,
what it is, it's a different point in time, right? When I was a little kid, we used to go to this place called the Channel in the Back Bay of Boston, right? And we would see bands like Biohazard, Corrosion and Conformity. You don't have no idea who the fuck these people are, but that's okay. Suicidal Tendencies, and they were nobody. And dude, these were hardcore shows.
I figured it out.
There was a bunch of guys that used to go there, and they were called FSU, fuck shit up. And they were a crew, and they went to Slam Dance, and you went there, and and the whole idea was it was about the dance, not about hurting people, not about nothing. When somebody fell down, you pick them up. You know what I mean? But you had to have your wits. You had to you had to be watching all the time because if somebody was throwing a rogue elbow and you weren't paying attention, you would get knocked the hell out. You know what I mean? And that's just how it was. But it was in the art of dance. A form of expression. You know what I mean?
Right.
And later on in life, you got bands like Tool and stuff. And I see these kids. I remember we were at that Tool show that they played 5 songs and got shut down for the Anemia tour. And the kid bought a $25 Tool shirt, and it was white, and it had the cover of the album on it and all. He was in the middle of the pit, and when shit broke out, dude, he got fucking elbowed right in the nose, and his fucking shirt went right to his face, and it was white, and he had fucking blood all over it. Oh my God, dude, you have no idea what this is about. And that's when you learn about elbows and asses and all that stuff. And it's like when somebody, when the wave comes your way, give them the ass, but push back. Elbows will give you space. and it give you room to do your thing. And it's not about being violent, and a lot of people have that mistaken,
Right.
a lot of these bands, when you used to see them, I mean, this shit was so raw, it's so awesome. You can never reproduce that in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? For each show that they did. But nobody knew about that stuff. That was underground. It was hardcore. It was kind of like the rap game and like gangster rap and stuff like NWA. When they came out, I was a 13-year-old kid listening to that. And I was so intrigued by how lyrically they were. They told the story, right? And they lived that shit. You could never put that on paper and put it on an album if you never lived it. You couldn't make that stuff up. It's like when
Mm-hmm.
someone tells an experience, Nikki,
Yeah.
and they're telling the truth. There's people right away. This guy's full of shit. He's a dirty diaper. You want to get rid of him, right? And there's guys like Jeff from Pine Island, right? And when I heard Jeff's story, I couldn't get enough of that. I was like, oh my God, this guy is not full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's telling the truth. And like Carrie Arnold,
Right.
when Carrie told his story, right? I was so like, oh my God, because how could you get so vivid detail in it? You can't make stuff like that up,
Right.
I mean, it has to come from experience. And how I got into the whole like Bigfoot thing was like I got into Nikolai Tesla. I had no idea who the hell he was. So I start watching the Tesla files,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'm like, oh my God. Then I get into the Bigfoot thing, and then I'm like, oh, there's so many cool people here. Then I meet guys like Long Island Bigfoot, Joe, yourself, Mogs. I
Mm-hmm.
love Mogs. I mean, I know he rubs people the wrong way a lot. You know what I mean? Because Russ is who he is, and that's cool because
Yeah.
he has integrity. And you can't put a dollar value on integrity. Whether you love him, you hate him, it doesn't really matter. He's consistent, just like Joe is, just like you
Right.
are. Like me,
Right.
I'm consistently offensive, and I know I am. So why the hell change now? But I mean, this is
Yeah.
what makes the
Yeah.
community so
That's what
great.
the late night is for.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm
I
sorry.
bring on, anybody can come on the late night show, but for my
Yeah,
regular
and
show, I
it
have
took
to kind of
me.
keep it towards what, my
I
content is about.
I like when Joe does a show with Molly, and I also like it when he does it with Lay because there's a different flavor. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
There's two
Right.
sides of a coin right there, right? You know what I mean? But you
Exactly.
still got Joe. I mean, they need to shave that guy and put him on like Mount, not more. I mean, well, whatever the hell it is. No, I'm kidding, Joe.
Yeah, they ain't
As
no
always, I haven't
changing
seen you
me.
in a while. I got to beat you up a little bit, but no, it's like
Ain't
there's
no
so many
changing
cool
me.
people in this community, and this community is so forgiving, and there are so many awesome people here. But and I tried to do this the other night on Moses' show, like a week or whatever ago, and I said this is a divide in the family, And I said if people are going to put that they're doing a documentary out there, not that they're doing anything wrong, but if you're going to advertise that and ask for donations, I mean there should be transparency there. I want to see where the hell my money's going.
Right.
Then I got Cowboy blowing up my email. Oh, my PayPal and this and that. Joe, it has nothing to hell to do with you, man. Dude, if people like what you do because you're a funny bastard and whatever, and I I love Cowboy, dude, and they want to pay you for content, God bless you. I'm just saying if you're advertising and you're putting it out there, right? So that
Yeah.
like however many subscribers you got can read it. If you're doing something like that, man, give back to them. I know people that didn't get T-shirts from 168 that paid for them. So, but whatever. I know I know
Wow.
Kerry has a job and whatever, and I'm not trying to point blame at nobody. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I was on Mogs' show and we were talking about future stuff, and I was on there with Pat Turner, Joe's buddy. I think them guys are like two peas in a pod. You're like a snap pea, ain't you? It's like Randy Macho
Yeah,
Man
me and Pat are,
popped out of the woodwork and
Pat are
goes, snap
friends.
into a snap
Yeah,
pea. No, I'm kidding. But
yeah.
he's like, oh my God, fucking self-driving cars are 100 years away. I'm like, dude, you better quit drinking, take off the rose-colored glasses, and
Oh,
fucking
oh,
embrace
I
reality.
remember
The
that show.
shit's
I
already out
remember.
there, man. The cars are
They're
there.
already out there.
That's what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
can't communicate it to him, you know what I mean, in that
Yeah.
form because, I just think that him and I are oil and water.
Yeah.
Joe and I love Joe. Joe's cool. You know what I mean? He
Hmm.
sends me shit that makes me laugh, and I think of him right away. And that guy's solid right there. He's awesome right there. And Nikki, you're cool too. You know what I mean? You do this, and that's what I love about this community, man. There's so many
Right.
awesome people here, but there's also a few shitbags in here too. So I mean,
You
You
gotta
know,
be
deal.
careful.
And I'm
You know,
not
you
saying
gotta realize
I,
that.
I didn't mean that directed towards him, but I'm just saying, there's evil that lurks in the dark in this community too. And
Right.
they'll expose
Oh,
themselves like
for
everybody
sure. I've
does.
experienced that. So I know,
But to have a
that.
good time, to laugh, I mean, and the hardest thing for me was, when somebody's being serious because I'm a clown. I mean, I don't wear makeup, but I still have the fucking big shoes on. I may even put the red nose on once in a while and just go, but in reality, it's who I am. I mean, I like to do this, and
Right.
it's a tough format.
It is, you know.
But in when people get traumatized, right? Laughter is good medicine. It kind of lessens the blow. Lightens the mood, makes
Hmm.
you feel a little more sharing if you want to. You know what I mean? And you feel a little.
Oh, yeah. And
And
especially what I do is people were upset with me in the beginning when they found I was going to do this channel because they thought I was going to poo poo all over people all the time. That I was going to be calling people out all the time that, are in the community,
no,
and
that would
that
be me.
wasn't
Don't worry
my
about it.
intention. Yeah,
I'm never gonna
that
go over 23 subscribers. Don't worry, that's never gonna happen. People don't want to hear my shit. I'm gonna tell you right now,
yeah,
because a
and
spade is a spade, no matter what. You know what? And if people can't be adults and just say, "I agree to
mhm,
disagree," and that is the hardest thing for someone to learn in their life,
it
to be
is.
that someone and say, "I believe this wholeheartedly," whether it's politics, religion, whatever the hell it is. You can just step aside and say, "Okay, I hear where you're coming from. I don't believe what you're believing." You know what I mean? And we can agree to disagree and move on. And that's what adults do. Other people that aren't adults get verbally combative. And then it's like you want to fight and you want to do this. It's like, dude, just because I don't see shit the way you do doesn't mean that you're wrong or I'm wrong. It's just this is the way I believe it. This is the way you believe it. We can
Right.
coexist and we can agree to think. I think you're wrong. You can think I'm wrong. Cool.
Mhm.
For the overall good of everything. The
And
one
I've
thing I've
always
learned.
tried to play it off that way. People know that before I had the show, I was very verbal. I was more verbal than I am now because I found that once I did have a channel that I toned myself down a little bit, calling
Yeah, you
people out.
regulate. You
Yeah,
regulate. You you
telling
you,
people
you
what I
pander
really
to
thought.
your audience. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You want to be
So,
nice. You want to get your point across. You want to be informative. You want to be someone that when you pop on, they can say Nikki's not lying. She ain't full of shit like Joe's show. Joe's full of shit. Nobody watches the show because he's full of shit. But I'm just saying, Joe, your shirt's brown, right?
It is
mhm.
actually kind of a, I don't know, maroonish
Nikki, he's right to
kind of
his neck with that
kind of guy.
bullshit right there. I'm gonna tell you right now. Look at it. He's on camera. He's document that.
But
No, dude,
yeah.
I'm just, but I'm just, this is where I love it. It's like real talk. This is
Look, I am
where we're
I'm
sitting
I
here.
am constantly I'm constantly humbled by all the really nice things that all the people say. You know what? All I can say for myself is the same kind of as what you just said. I'm just who I
What, you
am,
full of
man.
shit?
This is me, and I can't be anywhere else. I can't be any way else other than who and what I am. And this is what you get, man, when
Hey
you
Joe,
get
I'm gonna
me.
I'm gonna
You
I'm gonna
know,
share a little
and,
something
and
with
I'm
you, Nikki.
constantly humbled that
Pretend you didn't
people
hear this.
actually want to pay attention to me. Really.
Joe, you put a
So
lot
yeah.
of good stuff out there. Listen, I just want to share
Yeah.
this. I want to share this with Joe. Nikki, don't listen. Hey, I took my shirt off today, right? Because I'm like 52 years old, and I looked in the mirror when I was going in the shower, and I could be a silverback gorilla.
Yeah,
We
that's
found
what
that
I am.
spot.
Silverback.
Oh, dude, I can make fun of myself better than anybody else. And you know something? That's a big thing in all of this. You have to be able to laugh at yourself. You know what I mean? If you can put yourself on blast, then you can do it to anybody. And they need to man up and just be what it is. Because you know what, it's not like you got a gun to their head and you're trying to kill them. I mean, if you disagree or whatever, and this happens every single day. It happens in politics, man. We're living in a world, right, where our government is broke. These people go in there broke and come out millionaires. And you know what? They take their ball and go home like a 5-year-old. You know what I mean? And there's no bipartisanship. There's no nothing. I don't care what side of the fence you're on. This shit needs to be fixed. And Donald Trump wasn't the answer. Biden's definitely not the answer. But we need to look at this and revamp this, because when our forefathers wrote the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, they wanted government not to get too big for their britches, and they wanted us to have the ability to arm ourselves and protect ourselves and our families if shit went fucking awry. And then people don't. They have a hard time with the whole gun thing. Listen, guns don't kill people. Idiots that hold them in their hands do. You know what I mean? And you have to understand that first. And that's only one little piece of all the amendments. The freedom of speech. Hey, we have the freedom of speech. I can say whatever the hell I want. That also comes with consequences. You know what I mean? It happened on the Oscars the other night, right? Fresh Prince of Bel Air went up
Right.
there and slapped Chris Rock in the face, and then he woke up in the morning, he had Fresh Prince on his face. But
Yeah.
anyway, I'm just saying. I mean, and Will Smith's not
Yeah.
somebody that does stuff like that. So
No, no, my opinion, he made a big mistake. He made
of course he did.
a
He
lack
let his emotions he
of
let his emotions get the best of
everything.
him, and he
Yeah.
acted
He,
irrationally.
yeah.
He's probably going through a lot of stuff, right? His
Oh,
wife's sick,
yeah.
she's losing her hair. He didn't like the
But we've
comments. And
known
Chris
that for
Rock is a fucking
years.
comedian.
That's
So
the
is
whole
he.
thing, is that we all knew, well, most of us who follow any type of entertainment knew she had alopecia, known she's a beautiful woman who
Oh,
has
Jada Pinkett Smith's
she has
hot
cut
as a
her
pistol,
hair
man. Come
short
on, man.
many times, many,
She's hotter
many
than
times
Joe's
for
brown shirt.
years. With or without hair, she's gorgeous.
Yeah,
But
her
the
daughter, her
issue
daughter,
is
her
she's
daughter told
cheater.
her to shave her
She's a
head, right?
lying cheater, and he loves her, and has him wrapped around her finger. He should have left her a long time ago, in my opinion, because they ended up having very ungrateful kids
Yeah,
and
they got a bad marriage, Nikki. That's what it is.
weird
I'm going through that shit
situation
right.
there.
I'm going through that shit
Weird.
right now with my wife, because you know what? I call it a warden. You know what? I have a lot of nicknames and pet names and all that
Mhm.
shit. And you know what? I was selfish a lot in this thing, and I've learned a lot from why we argue, why we fight, why we do this. And I own 90% of this because it's on me. But
Right.
that's what happens when you're part of the Paulie T show. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
collateral damage across the board. And you don't care in the sake of being funny. And sometimes you say things you can't take back, right? Sometimes you say things that are inappropriate. Sometimes you say things that are right, and the truth fucking hurts, man, for real. It does.
Yeah.
And
It
sometimes
does.
people don't want to hear that shit. My father told me when I was a kid, he's like, you can take a piece of shit. He's like, you can put 10 pounds of sugar on it. After you lick all the sugar off, guess what? You still got shit.
Yeah. It
And it's
is.
true.
And
And another
people
thing,
looked up to him though. When he did that and walked up stage,
yeah, but who is
he
he though, Nikki? Think about
he's
that. He's his mom is going out there. Like, he's like 50 something years old. His mom's like, he never done nothing like that in his life. Yeah, when he shit in his diaper and peed on you when you were changing it, yeah, he did. But you're not gonna put that out there.
yeah.
Hey, people make mistakes and they're irrational. He's caught up. The way I look at something like that, right? It was wrong to hit somebody. Period. Don't put your hands on no one.
Period. Yeah,
And
you don't
unless
put
they
your
hit
hands
you,
on
if
people.
they touch you first, then all bets are off, right? Because you're defending yourself at that point.
Yeah.
But don't go out there and just smack them. For all we know, that was staged and it was a publicity stunt to help both
Yeah.
their careers.
I don't think it was staged
We no no no
because
no.
there's no sane
He laid the
person or
smack down. I agree with
publicity.
you.
His manager would allow something like that to happen. That because that is not funny. Him
Yeah
going back and saying what he said when he was sitting down, that was not funny. That's when everybody thought the bit was
yeah.
over, because
No,
everybody was laughing up until the point he got back to his seat and started
and
yelling,
Chris Rock is in a point of power right now because he's like he can still
He's
press
a bigger
charges
man
for
right now.
assault,
He won't even talk
which
about
is a
it on his
felony. Which is a
shows.
felony. You know what I mean? If you get an A and B on your record, that's a felony. You're not leaving the country.
Mhm.
You're not doing jack shit
Well,
anymore. And now
he's
you
not gonna
become
charge
scumbag
him.
status. So
He's already decided
and
he's
he
not
was in
gonna charge
Boston
him.
like a couple of nights after that, and he refused to talk about it. So I mean, he's got something going on. He's got something brewing for sure.
Mm.
But
Um,
again, I appreciate the real talk, guys. I mean, it's we're human. We make
Yeah.
mistakes. We're flawed by nature, all of us. Even you, Joe.
I'm still stuck on the point Polly brought up earlier, and I'm still trying to figure out Why I would lick sugar off a turd.
Oh God, sicko.
Joe, the overall point and
My
premise of
mind is still
that
wrestling.
comment is some people just can't take real talking. You can't talk to them straight. So you have to
Yeah.
sugarcoat it. And my father told me,
I'm,
if you
I'm,
sugarcoat
I'm,
it, it don't matter. It's still shit. And when you can lick it all you want, like an ice cream cone off the ice cream man. You were the first guy in line, Joe. It's fucking 10 pounds of fucking sugar on a 2 pound log. Guess what? It's still shit underneath, dude. Bottom line, and the shit is the shit,
Hmm.
man, and that's it.
I'm
You're
just
not
fucking
going
with
to
you.
avoid that, no matter how hard you try, and you have to address that. And see, that's what adults and smart people do, right? We communicate. We try not to be. It's a example at work, right? I heard when I my first day at work, I heard about this guy, Earring Bob. He's a younger kid. He's got one of them huge hoop things in the bottom of his ear. I could fucking use it as a hula hoop, and I'm a fat bastard. So let me tell you, I'm on a 40 waist. So let me tell you how big that hoop is, right? I heard how much of an asshole this guy was. He sucks. I threw him out of here. He shows up on Thursday, right? He's like, oh, them guys in the garage are talking shit about me. I'm like, dude, I don't give a crap about that. I said, I'm new here. I said, you're working with me, Miss Paul. Oh, Bob, nice to meet you. I said, Bob, this is what I need from you. He did everything I asked. The guy's been driving a cement truck 26 years. I poured 9 yards of concrete in 35 minutes and he was out the door. And the owner's like, "Oh my God, we had a guy come in here when we first started doing it. He was such an asshole." I'm like, "Yeah, he was here. He was here yesterday. We did 9 yards in 35 minutes. He did everything I asked. He said it's all about how you talk to people. It's true.
Yeah.
You know, it's all. I mean, and I'm guilty of this all the time. I suck. I mean, I'm a terrible human. I really, really am. I found the crayfish in the garage today and brought them outside. I didn't put them in the microwave and eat them. So yeah. And I'm like, dude, you'd
Mm.
make awesome bass bait, but I really can't eat you at this point, right? Because we have a pond right behind the building. That's where the crayfish stay.
Oh,
But
gee.
yeah, so I'm working for a small company, and I'm back in my element and my groove. And I think I had a problem with my supervisor because I showed him up the other day, and I wasn't trying to. It's just that I'm starting to feel confident in the job, and I'm trying to push myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be better, and I'm trying to
Well,
do a
that's
lot of
good.
things.
That's good.
Yeah, no, but Nikki, when you get an old goat at the end of the field, right? You know what I mean? Like Donnie was gonna save him, standing goat. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, you need some shots. We're gonna get you some vitamins, and this and that. And it's like, I'm a young buck coming in here at 52, but I'm not a young buck. But he's 65, so yeah, I kind of am a young buck, right? And he's looking at, oh shit, the torch is going to get passed, and it's like I'm not ready to give it up. I'd
Yeah.
be like at the Olympics, say, let it go, no, 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 let it go, and then dude, the cameras on NBC, and we're fisticuffing right there to get the torch to light. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where we're at. And everybody deals with these type of scenarios and this drama in your life, And at this point in time, at 52, I don't want to do that shit, man. You know, I,
Hmm.
I want everything to be smooth. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's talk. And the two dudes I work with, other than him, we work good together. We're a cohesive unit in 3 weeks.
Right.
And he's just like, he's the one upper guy. Like, he's Mr. Perfect. He can't do anything wrong. And I don't think I can coexist with somebody like that because guess what? You know what, dude, you're flawed just like I am, just like everybody is. You're not
Yeah.
perfect. And he'll never go to the boss and say I effed up. He'll put the blame on somebody else. So then your nickname kind of places you in the rodent family because that's what you are. You know what I mean? And nobody
Well, you
wants to
can only
deal.
do what you can do, and you have to make the
Yeah.
best of your situation. And I think a lot of that gets lost in some of the younger generation.
Oh, absolutely. It gets
You
lost
know,
in the family. Some
you
people
have to
get so
have a
full of
work
themselves.
ethic, and you don't see that anymore. And I really
Oh,
tried to instill that in my kids that, if you're going to go to work, take pride. I don't care if you're bagging groceries or if you're folding clothes or, you know, you're at a
yeah.
store.
Hey,
You need to
my
have
dad
some
always told
respect.
me it's better to be early than explain why you were late.
Yeah,
And
right.
and I still remember. I was like 14. That was like 1984 when he's telling me that stuff. And look what we are now, 2022, and I still remember that stuff.
Oops.
My mom and my wife. It's all how you talk to people. And sometimes you lose your cool and you forget where you're at. You know what I mean? And it's a momentary lapse, like a Pink Floyd momentary lapse of reasoning. You know, you're kind of in between the acid and the weed and whatever the hell else, and you're in space and you're floating around. You're like, oh shit, man, I just blew that. What the hell? I gotta go. I can hit the reset button and try that shit again.
It's the hustle time.
See,
I
what
want to
I
see.
what I
I want to
really want
see
you to do, Nick, I
Jay
want you to
Fritz
do,
and Jeff Harding do the hustle.
what I really want you to do, Nikki, is I want you to do a Halloween show, and I want you to play "Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting," and
Oh,
I want Joe to have a fucking gi on, like he was David Carradine.
how funny! That'll be funny. That will be funny. Pink Floyd, sister.
Yeah, hey, you know what? I got a story about a crayfish. You were talking about
Oh,
crayfish. I got a story about a
Crotch critter,
crayfish.
here it comes.
This is a true story. This is a true
You were
story.
skinny dipping in New
This
York.
is when I was still living in Virginia.
Oh, you were in Vagina? I'm
No,
sorry.
this is still living in Virginia. It was when I was much better shape, and I was
Were
working
you?
as a doorman for my buddy at his bar. And he would put
What
on
kind of
these
dog?
events during the year, um, a bouncer, throw your ass out
All right.
if you start acting up. But anyway, so he'd throw these events, and
Gun-
at one of these events, he had crayfish. Right, these are live crayfish. To bring them in. So I'm out there in the alley. It's called a rally in the alley, and I'm out there and I'm looking around. I'm watching everybody, but I'm noticing every now and then some of these crayfish would escape, and you would see like where one was, and there was a big crowd of people, and so you would see one poor little crayfish that had escaped, but he was crushed because of everybody stepping on him, right, and all this other stuff. And I saw this one crayfish, and he was loose, and I watched that crayfish, and for some reason, I don't know how he did it, but he went from one end of that alley, and he made it through all them people and crawled all the way over almost to where I was without getting stepped on, without getting crushed. And I was like, oh man, dude, if anybody deserves to live, Mr. Crayfish, you deserve to live. And so I got a cup of water, and I picked up the crayfish. I put him in a cup of water, and I set him down. I said, all right, I'm going to take Mr. Crayfish home, and I'm going to let him loose.
You
and
fucking drowned.
He can go live his happy crayfish life, man. And so I waited till everything was done, and we all, the event was over and it was late. The bar was closed. We were all cleaning up. Time to go home. I grabbed Mr. Crayfish, look at him. Oh yeah, he's still in there. He's still moving. So I drive all the way back out. It's like about a 45-minute drive from where I worked to where I was living at the time. And I get all the way back to this little town I'm living in. And I stop this bridge. There's a creek running through there. Like, all right, now's the moment. I let Mr. Crayfish go to live his happy crayfish life. And I walked over the edge of the bridge and I poured the cup out, and the water fell, and it went down. And Mr. Crayfish hit a rock.
Had fucking drama.
Hit a rock, flopped into the water, and floated to the top.
Oh,
on his back.
And I was
you
like, oh my
smashed him.
God.
The story is don't show
After all that shit that crayfish went through. All that shit, which to a crayfish, that must have seemed like miles that he traveled.
Joe, you were the crazy fucking Jesus at that point, man. I'm telling you.
I was trying to save him, and I ended up killing him. When I dumped him in the creek, he hit a rock and must have cracked his shell because, yeah, he was just
better late than never, Brent.
Man.
Good to see you.
Hey, what's up, man?
Like the Scully, dude. Keep it tight. Keep it tight.
True story.
Yeah.
Absolute true story.
Gosh. The crawdad killer.
What's up, Brent?
Well, what's up, guys? Just kind of listening in. I'm late.
Fearless crawdad killer.
Ooh. Well, we all got to be
What's
something in life.
aspirations?
It's really very traumatic. As
So
you can see, I still think
see
about that
body
poor little
count.
girl
I
face,
see
man.
doing a fucking cover of fucking George Crawdad Killer instead of cop.
I only wanted to help him, man.
I'll never
Dude,
look at
you
a
only get the
crawdad
tail
again the
anyway,
same
man.
way.
Don't worry about it.
Oh
Well,
man.
but you won't. But you won't. That was one heroic ass crawfish. It was really a terrible way for him to go, though.
I believe. So,
Memorialize them.
yeah, I'm way
Something
too
every
drunk
year.
to operate the iPhone. Never mind a Droid. I'd be fucking lost. I'd be like,
Yeah.
welcome to
I
the
should.
dead.
I gotta think of something.
I should like
clever
drive to
with
Virginia every
crawdad.
year and go to that bridge and just do a shot bridge
And pour a shot
tribute
over
to
the
that
bridge
crawfish,
too.
man. That's what I
Joe,
More
when you
shot.
gave that,
More shot
when
over,
you
man.
gave
one
that
over.
Crawdad brain damage,
that.
you should consider that like the Blondie Stone and kiss it.
Oh my god.
Hey, so I've been. Hey,
Crazy.
here's a quick little funny thought. Right, I'm in the liquor store today, and there's this cute girl at the register, and she's like, "Hey, you got any Irish Rose in a nip?" And I'm like, "Strawberry quick." She's like, "Yeah, it tastes just like it." I'm like, "No shit." I'm like, I went to the Patriots game one time with a friend of mine. I said, and all he drinks is tequila Rose. She's like, "Yeah, yeah." I said, and when I took it, I'm like, "Oh my god, this tastes like quick." I'm like, "What's this? Like a woman's drink?" He's like, "No, there's alcohol in there." I'm like, "Really?" So after you're doing a few swigs off the bottle, right? You're sitting there. I'm like, "Shit, man! I don't know if I can grab onto the car. I'm a little sideways, But strawberry quick. That's what Joe's drinking right now.
Just by itself?
Yeah, it's I guess it has tequila in it, Nikki, and it's a strawberry kind of.
I know which one it is. I just didn't know if you had to
No.
mix something else
I'm
with
not
it.
trying to insult anybody's intelligence, but I would have never have known what the hell it was if I never went to the Patriots with Kenny, because that's his jam, man. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, hey, give me the strawberry quick. I mean, what tequila Rose? You ain't Mexican. What the hell are you trying to do, man? Slow the fuck down.
Ooh, tequila though.
But anyway, yeah. I'm like, you're a white boy that works in the union.
No es
You were
bueno,
fucking
Brent.
honest. You wear a harness and a fucking orange shirt. Stop it.
Yeah, no tequila for me. That was my night last night. Still
Uh-oh.
recovering from it. Yeah, got about 3 hours of sleep.
Brett,
Oh, geez.
my favorite shirt. 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3
Nice.
tequila. Oh,
That was the night, pretty much. From what I remember.
yeah. I
Were you celebrating?
Sure, why not? Celebrating life.
Oh,
Just celebrating it's Friday.
Yeah.
Or wait,
Good answer.
Thursday.
it was
Good,
Thursday.
bad, and
I don't
different.
know.
I mean, Brent, I just got a job with a little bit of responsibility, and I was like wide open, mashed potatoes to the floor. Like, let's do it right every single night. And now I only do it on Fridays. I didn't do it too bad tonight because I only got a pint. So tomorrow I'll look the fuck out.
Ooh,
I'm
it's gonna be a
opening
good
the
one.
nuclear. I'm opening the nuclear silos, and I'm just gonna let it all hang out. Like Joe, I was after midnight. Let it all hang out. And Joe Cocker, you can leave your hat on or your bandana. You can be Mose. You can be Sash. You can be whatever the hell you want to be. And just make a little love. Get down.
Right. Remember, I'm not wearing pants.
Don't you get up.
Don't stand up.
Oh, were we supposed to wear pants tonight? I thought it was we just had to make sure we're covered
Here
from
we
here
go.
out, right?
The Wonder Twins. Here we go,
That's
Nikki.
right.
Wonder Twins.
Oh, no, where's my Wonder
Hey, we
Twin
got
Oh,
power?
let me go grab something, guys.
Yeah, Wonder Twin
Never.
Awesome. Warm up 2 spitting cobras. Do do no 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 no. Put them away.
Let me tell you something. I wore Speedo once. I will never, ever, 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 ever do it again. I will never, ever wear a Speedo again.
Joe,
and I
what's
was
your
in better
team
shape when this was
color?
Thank you.
happening. But man,
Thank you. The world appreciates that decision.
Show me a
it was the most
sign, Mr.
embarrassing thing.
Speedo.
I thought, hey,
Speedo
at the
Joe.
time, man, I thought I was, I thought I was the stuff, man. I was in a lot better shape, man. But dude, you know what?
Here we go.
Oh, he froze.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
God.
tell you something about
Technical
wearing a grape
difficulty.
smuggler.
Technical standby.
Wearing a grape smuggler. I'm gonna tell you one thing. We ain't making wine here. Stop that shit. I'm gonna tell you that. Whoa,
That's a
whoa, whoa.
really good face he froze on there.
Did.
He's like, I wore a Speedo. Look at Joe's face. When he said that, right? Look at it. He's like,
And
That's
he
yeah,
looks
first.
that shit
proud.
was out there for
He
everybody
looks
to
proud
see.
of wearing it too.
He
Yeah.
said it was almost brand.
Oh, there we go. Hey, am I back? Am I back?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
Am I
back
back?
now.
No,
You were
You know
really
what?
good at standing
You
still.
know what? At first, At first, I was proud. I'll admit it. I was proud at first, but the damn thing, I was not informed that this party that we were going to, this pool party, was going to include, okay, young teenage
Joe.
girls, because it's a family party. But I wasn't informed of, and there were people's grandmothers there.
And you're
And
wearing
grannies
fucking a
were,
piece
like,
of braille that
shocked.
says barely legal. Read this.
You know,
Hey, never mind the bumps and the dots. Just go for the fucking
most
long fucking
I'll never
hyphen.
do it again. Especially
Oh,
Me
Jesus.
neither.
That's a good face. I
now,
like that
nobody
one.
wants to see this.
Somebody take a screenshot of that quick.
Oh, Joe? No. Yeah, he's got his shirt on.
Yeah.
As long as you don't stand up, we're
Wait.
good.
There we go.
Uh.
No.
Joe's like,
There we
yeah,
go.
I have a purple Speedo on like I'm Bonnie, and these bumps and hyphens and dots say, welcome to the jungle. I haven't manscaped.
Welcome to the jungle.
We got fun and games.
We got bush and games. We got snakes and cobras waiting in the vein.
Oh man, that's just such a funny face Joe has right now. Can't get over that. Made my night.
He's like their
His
picture of
eyes
me in
disappeared.
latex.
They're just like little slants.
Yeah.
Two of these Chinese. His name is
Is
supposed
this
to
like
be
really
Joe.
high or something?
All right, there he is.
There he
Hey,
is.
Joe, back.
Hey, we weren't talking about you.
All right.
I'm glad you took your Speedo off. When
Yeah,
we
you
couldn't
were.
See it.
Anyway,
Little. Just a
hey.
little. I mean, he left us at the whole Speedo thing, so
Most
it's
of-
like we had to roll with it.
Hey,
I wonder
Hey,
if Joe
like
wears
Paulie said, you gotta
Speedo that
learn
has
to-
like hair
you
on
gotta
it, like
learn to-
Chewbacca when he goes squatching.
no, but you know what? That's
He's
not a
in the
bad idea.
woods swinging a hula hoop,
Uh,
going, "Hey."
You gotta laugh at yourself, man. But that is one of the most embarrassing episodes ever in my entire life.
Oh, dude, that's
Speedo
it. That's all
episode
you
was
got.
bad.
Really? That's embarrassing to you, man.
That one, yeah. Oh no, that's not
Yeah,
all
don't
I
do
got.
it.
That's like
Joe,
a Tuesday for Polly here. Come on.
That's-
no,
that's
That's nothing.
enough, man. You ain't been a fat bastard that walked up in and you were so fat your belt broke and your fucking drawers went down to your ankles and they're like, oh my God, hey, fucking shorty, get off stage. We're looking for Big Dick Daddy from Cincinnati, not Short Joe from Chicago.
Oh.
But anyway,
That's
I
good.
only say that to laugh.
Ah,
I am not a Frankfurter. I am half a foot.
A what?
I don't know
Apple
if it's
foot?
the left or the right foot, but I'm a half a foot.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
Some call me tuning in. I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, you know, someday I may regret some of this, you know. People are
Joe, you're
finding
never
out
gonna-
way.
You ain't gonna live that long. Stop it.
Listen,
Listen,
Paul.
listen, Yoda.
Not
Listen,
unless
Yoda.
a photo
Dude,
pops
Yoda,
up
you're not gonna-
of you in your Speedos, and you might have some.
No,
God, I
seriously,
hope
listen.
there's none in existence anymore, man.
Yeah,
Yes.
me too.
Wow.
Joe,
Me too.
Joe, you're gonna live a long, prosperous life like Nikki is, like Brent is, like we are. Because we're real people, man. We like to have fun. You know what I mean? We like to, just be real, be genuine, man. You know, that's all you can
Yeah,
ask
people-
of anyone in life, right?
People are learning
Don't be a
way
bullshit.
too much
Don't
about
be
me,
fake.
though, man.
Don't pander to your audience. You know what I mean? Don't do any of that stuff. Just be who you are. This is why a lot of people don't like me, and I really don't give a rat's posterior.
Yeah.
So I'm never going to stop being me. I mean, whether you like it or not, you got to stay true to yourself, man. You know, it all starts with you, and everything else radiates from that.
I
You know
have
what I mean?
to.
You bring good to you if you do good. You bring bad if you do bad. If you're a shitty person, shitty things are going to happen to you. If you're a good person, good things are going to happen to you. I'm not saying
Yeah,
that
that's true.
You make things happen. You can make
Yeah,
Yeah.
make it
absolutely. I'm not
happen.
saying
But
if you
sometimes
get
bad
easy,
things happen. But
lottery's going to come to
overall,
your door and say, "Here's $1 million." But just try to be who you are and stay true to you. And that's the most important thing. I try to tell my friends' kids. I'm like, it doesn't matter what you want to do. If you like this, you like that. That's cool, man. But you come first. You have to do you.
oh yeah,
If your friends do something that you don't like, they may not be the right type of people to hang around with.
gotta drop them. Gotta drop the
Yeah,
toxic
exactly.
people.
Brent, exactly. Get rid of them. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And I think that's the toughest thing for kids today because they don't socialize as much as Nikki and I did, like in the 70s. Like, it's like that meme that everybody laughs at. This is where everybody was hanging out. You see 15 bikes in somebody's front yard.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It was
truth.
just like
That's
that.
what it
It
was.
just like that, and everybody laughs,
Sent
but
that
it was
shit
the
to
fucking
Mel.
truth. If you were on your bike and you drove by, you're like, "Oh man, is that Steve's house?"
Yeah.
You didn't
Just
go
doing
in.
it, Steve's. I gotta go
You
see.
put
I
the
gotta go.
13th bike on his lawn, and you went into the house and say, "Hey, where the Twinkies at?"
Oh man.
And
It
I
really
mean, that's
was.
how it
When
was
the
back then. And
street
these
lights
kids,
came on, it was time to go home because you
oh,
knew it was
you
dinner
kidding me?
time.
I got my
For
ass
real.
kicked. I got my ass kicked like I was a puncher bag in the gym if I was 2 minutes late. My father was like, "Yeah, that's right, boy. That light's been on for 3 minutes. Where the hell you been?" Dad,
Oh
2
my
houses over. I
gosh.
don't give a shit. He beat the crap out of me. When the street light comes on, you need to be here.
Life was simpler back then.
Yeah, it was. And I say this all the time. It's like Sorry, guys. I'm just there. You go. I'm better off there. Hey, shit, can't hold the phone that way. But
Palming us.
yeah, I'm big giant head, Joe. Joe, your bandana. I don't like it. No, I'm kidding. But back in the day, like my grandfather polluted me. He taught me about a window tapper, right? And it's what him and his friends used to do. They take fishing line and put a tack in somebody's window with wood, and then about a foot down, they tie a couple of washers, and they'd let about 100 yards of line out, and they'd just go like this with their hands, and it would knock on the window like somebody was outside. So he told me this. So here I am. I'm terrorizing the whole fucking neighborhood. I'm like Bin Laden. I'm like beep 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 the window tap the window tap right. And we had this one guy Zeke that lived on the side of me, and this poor bastard. I just didn't like him, and he fucking hated me. I terrorized that guy. So one day he's watching wedding films with his wife, and I go with the tack and the window tapper, bing, 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 bing. He's got a whole house full of people watching. Like, oh, there they are on the altar. Yeah, there's on the window. He's like, motherfucker, that fat little bastard next door. And then when they look out the window, you pull the line tight, and there's nothing there. So he was smart. He hid in the shadow of a pine tree, and he was walking towards us, and we're all laughing. There's like 4 of us, and I'm like, yeah. And my buddy's like, hey, that tree's moving. And I'm like, hit him with the tomatoes. And it's like, boom, boom, boom. We lit him up like Christmas. He's like, oh, you little bastard. Everybody runs. We screw, right? And leave. My father's like, what were you doing? I'm like, I was at Scott's house. Technically, I wasn't lying because his backyard was like 3 feet from where we were. But, and it's just shit you could do back then that you can't do today. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
You could
Hell
never
yeah.
do stuff like that. And you couldn't do that now because they have like a coil on the windows and the tack's not going through the fucking aluminum. So you better try a nail, and the hammer's going to ruin the whole thing. So,
Oh my gosh.
but just he got a brand new SUV, so I hammered potatoes up into the tailpipe. I don't think the car had like 200 miles on it. He backed out of his driveway and the fucking thing died. And he's banging on the hood. Why does this always happen to me? And I'm like, because of me.
Oh my goodness. Bad. That's bad.
That's terror.
What have you done, Brent, as a kid that was
Rock.
bad?
Started a fire and burned down like an acre. Well, I was part of people who started a fire. But it was a rural area outside of Pocatello, Idaho.
Uh-huh.
So it was only farmland. Made the nightly news. I got grounded.
Did you say your name on the pod? We're going to start a fire.
That's bad. That's good. that worked.
Yeah. Yeah, good memories of good old Pocatello, Idaho.
Hey, I had a cool music teacher named Mr. Holland. He was a drunk, but he was a cool guy, and I had him in 8th grade. He was a big vinyl guy, a lot of records. So yeah, when I went to his class, we would always talk about music, and I always respected him, but I knew he was a drunk. I mean, I was already drinking a little bit back then in 8th grade, on a Friday night, whatever. So he would give me a vinyl album every week, and he'd say, "What do you think of this on a Monday?" So I would go home and listen to the album on my mom's record player, and because they had that big like studio thing with the 8-track, the record, and the radio. And then between Elvis and ABBA, we listened to what Mr. Holland gave me. So first album he gave me, I think, was Bob Seger, Main Street.
Ooh.
So I'm listening to it and I'm like, holy shit, man, Mr. Reliable on the one every fuck. That dude never missed shit, man. I don't even know if he was drinking, drunk, whatever, but man, he was solid right there. Boom, 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 boom. And I learned to let. We would always talk about the music, and I remember Mr. Holland being so fucked up in class. He'd take us out into the woods behind the school and say, listen to the music of nature, because he couldn't teach class. He was bombed. Ain't happening. See you later. But impression, and I had a teacher named Mr. Ashton, one of my favorite teachers, and I had him in junior high, and he introduced me to S.E. Hinton. So we read The Outsiders, we read Rumblefish, we read Text, right? And then then we actually saw the movie The Outsiders. And you think about The Outsiders, like Patrick Swayze, Rob Lowe, Emilio Estevez,
Right.
Ralph Macchio, Karate Kid, and I'm like, oh my God, you could never ever sign up those guys for the money that they did back then to produce a movie like
for
that.
Sure.
You could never do that. And Matt Dillon, was in Tex.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to have him twice in class. School. I had him in junior high, and then he moved to the high school. And there was this one kid that used to come to school all the time. He used to smoke a lot of weed. And Mr. Ashton, he was like 20 minutes late for class one day. He's like, you know what? When you die, he's like, they're going to roll you up and get the whole world stoned. Your babies are going to be born with fucking roach clips and fingernails. And I'll never forget that, Nikki.
Oh, man. Hey, Jeff, how's it going? I sent you a link if you wanted to come on. I have a question for you.
Pine Island,
Jeff.
Get on here. I haven't
seen you. How to do the hustle?
Want to say hello?
I want to know if Jeff knows how to do the hustle.
No, I don't want to piss Jeff off either. I like Jeff. Like I said, he validated his point in his story, and I was like enthralled. And that was on one of Joe's shows. I think it was Joe and Lay, or Lay and somebody.
Yeah.
And I was like,
this is one of my first 45s.
A funny story.
Man, I love that song. I would play that over and over.
2 or 3 years ago, I went to New Hampshire. It was Sutton Pavilion that was up there. Went to see Hall & Oates, right?
Uh-huh.
Hey, the one song I hate that they sing is Man Eater. First song they open up with, Man Eater. Then severe thunderstorms came in, canceled the show. Only song we heard. I was like, you fucking suck. But a lot of respect for and that you don't even realize it. Like, their catalog is so deep. Like, my favorite song is "You're a Rich Girl."
Yeah.
Such a good tune. You know what I mean?
It is.
There's so much.
Everything they had.
Lay it on top
good.
of that.
But, it was just everything.
It's kind of like that. It's like that perfect thing where everybody and everything works together. And everything's cool, and it jives, and it's hard to do that. You can't replicate that. That's natural. Like Joe's bandana. Look at that.
Is that a bandana?
It's a hat.
It's not a bandana.
It's a hat.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Cool hat.
Hey, Joe, I'm not wearing my glasses. I don't give a shit if it's a bandana or a hat.
He loves your shirt, though.
It's cool, though. Yeah, it's brown.
Hey,
just like him, full of it, right to his neck.
You were talking the bad things you did as a kid.
Right.
I can tell you, one of the worst things we did as a kid is that, and this is when I lived in Rochester, New York. Not in the best section of town, but not the worst either at the time.
Hold on,
But
sorry.
the ice cream man would come through the neighborhood every summer,
Right.
I'm
and
your man. Stop me when I'm passing
a bunch
by.
of us little hoodlums, um, as the ice cream man comes, right? We would all be hiding, and then we would throw shit at the truck. And this guy, every single he would stop the truck and he would get out
Oh
and
crap! Come on, Joe. You're
out of this truck, of course at the time I'm like 6. Uh there we go. I was 7 years old. And this guy, to us he looked like Methuselah, right? Like he was ancient. Guy was probably maybe in his 40s or 50s, right?
This is
But he would get
MacGyver.
out and chase us. And so we would scare. Now he can't chase all of us, so the ones
Like Joe.
that weren't being chased would circle back around, get on a truck, and jack all the ice cream that they could. And later on in life, I learned that this was actually one of my first lessons in determination and stick to itiveness. Because that guy, it always made me wonder, like, why does he keep it every single time? No matter how many times it happened, same thing happens. We throw shit at the he jumps out of the truck, he chases us, they go back, they steal ice cream, and it goes on. And I was like, is he stupid? No. That old man, well, to me, he was old man. That guy was not stupid. He was, and at some point in his life, it became so important to catch at least one of us little bastards. He didn't give a shit how much ice cream he lost. He was going to
Joe,
catch one of us eventually. And he did.
he was looking
Catch
for
one of us
Batman.
eventually.
Did he ever catch you?
I was the one he caught.
Yeah. That's why Joe is the
I
way
was
he
the one he
is.
caught.
Way down, but ice.
Wow.
But
Hey, here's
man,
a funny story, Joe. I'm gonna
it's
one
my
up that,
first
right?
lesson in determination, man. That guy was just so determined, man.
I'm gonna one up
He
you
didn't
right now.
care.
I don't
He
mean
was
to,
like,
but we used to steal pumpkins from a local farm. So I had an orange hat when I was a kid. I used to throw it on my head. So when I was crawling through the field, like a Vietnam vet, I had an orange hat on. I was a pumpkin, right? Old man Chase is sitting on his tractor. Dude, I stole this 40-pound pumpkin. I almost dropped my nuts hanging right there. I'm telling you, I grabbed this thing and started running with it. Dude, he hit me with salt pedal, right? And the shotgun hit me right in the ass. I couldn't sit down for a fucking week. I got the pumpkin, but man, I paid for it.
Oh gosh. For sure.
I was gonna ask if anybody had ever been
No,
shot with
nobody else
rock
got caught.
salt.
Only me, like you. The fat kid got caught.
Ooh, that don't sound good.
Rock salt in the ass
Especially with
hurts
the
like
buffering.
crazy.
What do you mean? You got hemorrhoids? Sorry, I have no class.
Rock salt.
Dude, I had to wire brush that shit out of my ass cheek. Stop that. That ain't
Hurts,
funny.
hurts like hell.
Yes, it does. But anyway, I just want to say thank you, Joe. Thank you for tolerating
That
me,
mom.
Brent. You got in
So
late,
sorry.
but thank you for tolerating me as well.
No, thanks for coming on, man.
It's about that
Yeah.
time
Joe,
that I need to retire because I'm getting silly, stupid, and way too sideways.
It's always good having you on. We get to talk Bigfoot and get a stand-up show too. So,
Yeah,
and
well,
you're not going to get
dude,
slapped.
Listen. I'm just gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna seriously, and I mean this. Shit's real, man. People that go out there and pretend that this isn't real, and I tell Joe and everybody this all the time. I can't wrap my head around why some people are like kumbaya and some people are like get the fuck out of here. When I can decipher that in my brain and understand that, I'll probably have a better understanding for this. But I think it has to do with who you are as a human, right, and who you are as a person. If you got a good heart and a good soul, your experience is not going to be as traumatic as other people that just step in. It's kind of like stepping in shit, right? I mean, you don't mean to, but it happens, and then
Yeah. You
the
got to move on.
the repercussions are the repercussions. But and again, sometimes you could startle them and you could rattle their cage, and then you're the byproduct of something that they weren't planning on. That now everything changed. So there's a lot of
Right.
variables in all this. But you know what? I can honestly say that good people like LIB, Mike has positive experiences. Joe, I know you had like a thing, but most of yours are relatively positive. Nikki, I'm not sure, how frequent and what it does. And Brent, and you too, and Man of Light, man, that dude, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, he has some crazy ass shit happening and some real good pics and visuals. So I mean, people that just
But
want to,
it's all opinion, though. I mean, it depends on each person.
yeah, no, no, no,
You're
that's
saying you
exactly
like
that.
these people, but I don't like those people.
Well,
And I'm doing the honest thing with you.
yeah, no,
There's
and Nikki, that's
several
fine.
people that you mentioned there, but I don't follow them because I've been that route already, and
Yeah,
I've
hey,
moved
that's
on.
fine.
But that's okay.
The
I don't
only
poop.
the only
I don't.
reason the only reason I like Mike is because every
Oh,
day
I took a
he goes
Frank's up.
out there, he shows me something. He's got stuff happening. And there's other
Right,
people that I don't believe.
right.
And if this is the thing about this family, Nikki. If you don't like somebody, that's fine. You don't like this
Yeah,
guy, that's fine. We all can still be friends, and we can all still love each other, and we can get past the
right.
who likes who and who does what, and it's fine. I mean,
Right.
I'm not pandering to no audience, man. I love all you people because you're supportive and you are always there and you're not
Yeah.
judgmental. And to me, that means fucking everything. The rest of the
Mhm.
stuff is hyperbole. It doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? You
No.
like this guy, you like that guy. I love Joe. It
Right.
doesn't matter. Even if Joe stops going to DoorDash and he works for fucking, you know, tickle your feet dash, I'm still gonna like Joe because I like Joe.
That might be a
It doesn't
service.
really matter. I'm still gonna like Cowboy. I'm still gonna like Brent because Brent's straight. Nikki, you're straight. I'm straight. At
Yeah.
some point, the iron needs to go into the fire, and fucking enough is enough. Let's cut the bullshit. You know what I mean? And, that's all anybody can ask from anyone. Be
Yep.
like all that because I am. When someone's straight, honest with you, and they're real with you, what more can you ask? Seriously,
Yeah.
what
Yeah, I
more
mean,
can
I
you
All you
think
ask?
can
that
ask.
that's the best way to be. It's you know, I
Yeah,
don't know.
you're
That's the
being
way I
true.
kind of prefer.
You're being honest. And being real. But for the most part,
We're
if you,
losing you
what I
there.
mean, you got honor. You got honor across the boards, and that's cool. And Joe, get rid of the gay hat,
Yeah.
but I still love you.
Thanks for coming on.
All
Hey
right, see you,
Bye
guys,
man.
bye.
Nikki, thank you for putting the link in chat. Hey, Brett, good seeing you. Joe, I love you, buddy.
Yeah.
I love you. I love you. Tell Molly I said hello. Y'all have a great weekend. We'll talk soon.
All
Yeah.
right, later, man.
Out.
Yeah. Were you
Whew,
guys
I feel like I have to take a breath.
it's like you get to talk
Oof.
Bigfoot, and you get to get that stand-up comedy show.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
So what's going on in the story
No,
or
there's
land
nothing
of
wrong with
Bigfoot?
him, man.
The land of Bigfoot.
The land of Bigfoot. I went out to the Bigfoot tree yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, I took
Is it
Alan
still
there. He
moaning
wanted to.
and groaning?
Yeah, it's still there. We started walking up to it, and I saw two big trees laying next to it. I'm like, oh, looks like the treetops fell, so no more tree. But luckily, it was a tree right next to it. So
Oh.
yeah, the tree's still singing, and it's cool. I got a lot of cleanup to do there this year, but it was fun. He got to go see the tree, and because he's the one who actually first introduced me to the tree, told me about it, told me to go.
Yeah.
I should go meet this person, and so
Uh-huh.
it's like all kind of came full circle with
Oh.
taking him there now. So you heard it, it was like, it's
Wait, who? Who did you take? Who met you?
Alan.
Oh, okay, that's who I thought.
Yeah, and he had a lot of fun. He enjoyed it. The tree's cool. And
Did he
I ended
get to
up
hear
driving the
Bigfoot?
entire time. What's
How
that?
far is it from you?
It's like
Did you
2
hear the
hours.
Bigfoot living under the tree this time, or
I
no?
did. Yeah, I was like, "Hey, big guy, remember me?"
Woohoo!
Yoo-hoo!
It's gonna get. That's what's gonna bring him out. No,
Uh-huh.
we're talking about just like, gosh, just having
That's
fun.
right.
I'm putting a Bluetooth speaker underneath there for the conference this year that they're
Oh
gonna
my
have out
God.
there. That would just be so much fun. And just be like at a distance, like up the hill a little bit,
Yeah.
and just be like, just talk to them through the ground and videotape it,
Oh my
and sell it to TMZ or something, because that's just hilarious. People talking to a tree.
Oh my God.
That's talking back. It'll be Matt Johnson's thing, huh? It'll be
Hey.
like, God damn it, Matt Johnson was right. He was right all
I know.
along.
Oh my God. Dan Brent would become a hoaxer. I'd have to do a whole show
That's
on
right.
you.
But everybody would be like, no, that was a good one.
Oh man.
This Bigfoot knows my name. He knows what I'm wearing. He's looking at me
Yeah,
right now.
that'd be fun.
I'll be like, no, guys, I'm not underground. I'm actually cloaked. I'm standing right next to you guys.
Yeah, but they would believe it.
They would.
They would believe it. So
A
it
good
would
portion
be
of them would.
bad, bad.
We get some free apples afterwards. So hey, it's not all a loss. But yeah, not much really going on in the Bigfooting world, huh?
Not yet.
What did I see? Trying to think, there was something I
hoping to-
commented on today, but
So
there had another picture. I think it was of the creature from the giant sequoias.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, so I
Circulating.
have that stuff, but
I want to Photoshop like a little bow tie or something, like a little thing to put on his hair there. Just a little hair bow or something.
yeah.
Just cover him in bows. That'd be cool. Then let them go circulate that picture.
Yeah.
See how they like it. See, that's what you guys got to do. You got to like get all those pictures out of circulation by putting good Photoshop ones out there. A little ridiculous stuff on there.
Yeah.
Bigfoot wearing socks or something.
Again,
What?
not trying to, did you guys ever, do you remember not too long, maybe years ago, I don't know how long it was, I was seeing this. Now, the Bigfoot braiding horse's hair.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Did you ever see any of that?
I've heard about it.
Now,
Yeah,
okay. Why? Well, why would somebody had now?
Because
See,
it was
I
easier
talking
to
earlier
believe
about
than little forest nymphs coming and doing it.
Well, there's a reason why they were doing it too, because Bigfoot
braiding horses' manes.
While they were getting jiggy with it. That's what it was. That's the whole thing with Baron Kumbo.
Really? Was that it?
Yeah.
I will keep my mind open.
No wonder. Now it all makes sense. I never did go check that out because I didn't care. But
yeah. Yeah, they got some ridiculous, or some really fantastical stories. Kumbo and Bear, they're good storytellers. They're definitely good at that.
So
hey, what's up with the 168? Did you guys say that there's no?
And you find your horse's manes have been braided.
Yeah, well, the wind can do it too. Someone who owns horses talks about how the wind will work or something, and it'll braid the hair.
It twists. It does.
The wind
but I've also seen where other horses they gnaw on each other's manes, and I can see that happening kinky. Too.
Yeah, I think that there's a lady in Georgia who said that Bigfoot braided a flag or something. Remember that?
Flag?
American flag? Yeah, it was like a couple years ago.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, she gave it to a museum somewhere, and yeah, it was Bigfoot braided a flag, and it's like, why would Bigfoot braid a flag? It's like, meh, who knows? But she got like a write up in the local newspaper, and she got some good attention from it.
Oh
Her
my
flag is
God.
in this museum as some
Did she
Bigfoot evidence.
claim she saw the Bigfoot
I can't
braiding the
remember.
flag?
It was a couple years ago. I forgot her how her steps to get to this point to of like, yeah, it's a Bigfoot, but it's out there. They like to braid apparently.
I guess. You got the braid bug. Got a braid.
You know,
Hey
I
You know
guess
what?
they
watching
They're
Cowboy.
hairy as shit. So I mean, if they got all that hair and they're into braiding, why aren't you seeing all these reports of these Sasquatch running around with braids, man? It's like
that's
they
true.
should all be all braided up, man.
Well, don't
Well,
they say
but
Patty had a braid?
I
Somebody
don't know.
said that.
But the thing
I've
about it
never
is
even.
if they use their hair to help camouflage themselves in the forest, the braids would disrupt that ability for the hair to camouflage because the hair is relying on it to be layered of sorts, not wrapped around itself because the light can't refract through it the way it's supposed to cause the blending effect. So that's probably hypothetically speaking why Bigfoot doesn't braid its hair because it needs its hair to be, all ninja like.
Okay.
I don't
That
know if
is a
Joe's
whole
frozen.
lot of really good bullshit you said.
Hey, like I said,
I'm not
hypothetically
frozen.
speaking, man.
That's a
Hypothetically
lot of
speaking.
really good bullshit you just talking, man. Like you knew what you were saying, man. You knew
You,
it. That's why. That's why Bigfoot don't do it because it would break up the light going through the. Yeah,
you
Yeah,
didn't
that's
even have
awesome.
words, Joe. Thank you for saying
Awesome.
that because I didn't
yeah. It
even
was,
have words.
hey, but think about it. If they were all braided and stuff, and they
That's
supposed to use their hair, how are they going to? They would be like, oh, look, that's obviously a Bigfoot there because you can see like all the dreads and stuff. So,
sounds
um,
man.
Kind of like
Sounds good to me.
Rasta's dreads.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've never
yeah,
seen a Bigfoot.
yeah.
You'd figure that they would
But
get like messed up.
Oh man. Well,
yeah,
you
all
can
that
say
long
whatever
ass
you
hair.
want about Bigfoot. We can't prove it either way.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's true.
That's right.
Make a lot
Yeah,
of money off of it.
But no, but that's a good
for
skill
sure.
though. That's a good skill. But no, hey man. I mean, personally, I don't think there's this braiding thing is like really nothing. But uh, if it were, that's a good explanation for it right there. Right.
Well, yeah. Well, I think it was only Baron Kumbo, so you got to consider the source, and
Yeah.
that's why I always tell people it's like consider the source on what you're being told because it might be just a tall tale that sounds good, a little edgy.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I always hear that animals kind of get away from them, especially like horses are always kind of weary of them. And there's a really cool actually encounter. This dude's talking about this encounter that he has. It's a Kentucky encounter. And I don't know if you've ever seen the YouTube video. It's a great encounter video. And he's just talking about this experience that he had with this Bigfoot, him and his girlfriend, and the horses that were in the pen that was right there, which was like between him and the Bigfoots and stuff. And it was a really crazy experience because his dog apparently ran into the Bigfoot because his dog's like his dog got all screwed up after that night when the dog went and chased something and then came running back with his like you'd have to go watch the video. It's really good. It's a Kentucky Bigfoot sighting, and it's a dude that's standing there talking about his encounter. It's like 10 minutes long, and it's like
Wow.
it's really good too.
I think I might
Really
have
really
seen that.
good.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
All of these things. I heard Is it 11 o'clock? It sure is. Um, I heard your birds go off.
oh yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah, there's one here. Yeah.
oh my
Yeah,
God!
the
You're not
birds.
going to work
Clock is crazy. No, I am going to work actually.
in the
Um,
morning.
yeah. Yeah. Well, but that's the beauty of being your own boss. I can go whenever I want to.
That's true.
I usually try to go about the same time every day, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you buy that extra rider on your insurance to do the DoorDash?
no.
Oh, be careful with that. If you get in an accident, do not tell them you were door dashing.
Oh, I know.
Don't.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
know what?
Don't.
I'm actually fairly confident in my driving abilities. I'm pretty
Yeah.
good. I mean, and I know there's other people out there as I watch for everybody else, man,
Yeah.
and I make
Well, I'm
sure.
just saying because we
Yeah.
got screwed and because my daughter
Mm.
didn't know and we told the truth to the cops and when the insurance people called, she told them the truth and they wouldn't get the claim. They wouldn't take the claim. Well, it took me a year to fight it, but I ended up getting the money. But yeah, for a year we had to eat that and it was horrible. We have really good insurance and phew, man, that sucked when she got in an accident under DoorDash.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it was bad. It was bad. I still
Hey Joe,
had. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, hey Joe, did you watch any new Bigfoot movies?
Um. Actually, I did. Oh, what the hell was it called?
We need to start doing
I
videos.
think it was
You
called
know,
the. I don't remember the creature among us. I think it was
is
called.
it an older one?
Wait,
You
I
wouldn't even
think I
know. I
saw
thought it
that
was just.
too.
I thought just by I didn't even I was assuming it was just a horror movie with a monster in it
Uh
because
huh.
it
Hmm.
wasn't like a specific Bigfoot, until I started watching it, and then it was supposed to be, it did have to, and it wasn't a great movie, but
They never are.
even the bad ones are still okay, man.
Yeah, they're
It
fun.
depends on how
Popcorn
much you
movies.
smoke.
Yeah, that plays a huge
Yeah,
difference on the outcome.
yeah, yeah. You fire one up and watch it, man. You're good.
Yeah,
It's like,
then you get to
yeah, can't
forget
even.
you watched it even. You don't have
Out of
to
the
Yeah,
remember that.
shadows is is Alex here? What is she? Or is she just
We got to
calling?
start doing like podcasts on Bigfoot videos so we can kind of keep all of us up to date. Because you're right, dude. Unless they have like Bigfoot or Sasquatch in the title or a Bigfoot on the cover, we don't know. So there's like hundreds of movies out there. Because like you, I come across them like rarely. It's like I, you know, I don't usually watch those monster horror movies, so I don't usually click on them. But when I did click on one, it's like, oh shit, that's
yeah,
Bigfoot. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
watch the movie, but
yeah,
yeah, we got to do
yeah.
yeah,
something
but
so we
then
could
they have
make a
the newest
repository.
Bigfoots on there that people are taking screenshots of and using them.
I did
And they're
watch
like,
the new season of Expedition Bigfoot. I'm excited.
"Oh, did you?"
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, it looks like we got a primo crew that is going to solve the Bigfoot mystery for us all. I mean, Russ Accord and his 10-pound or huge ass backpack. Uh, they're gonna do it. I'm
Could happen.
optimistic. Yeah,
Could
yeah,
happen. Could happen.
yeah. They're up here in Washington, Olympic Peninsula.
Could happen. I mean, I'll be honest. Yeah, I'll be honest. I haven't really kept up with it at all. I think when it first came, I might have watched maybe 4 episodes of the first season. That's about it. And
That's how I was
I
too.
don't know. And it's not for any particular, just more.
I think I'm gonna
And
go
if
and
I'm
just
watching
watch them all.
TV,
Hmm.
it's usually Tubi.
Marathon.
So yeah, so I don't keep up with TV shows and stuff like that. I just that's why for one of the reasons.
Well, technically, you're not missing much.
So
It's more of the same. Just trying to LARP, I guess. That's what it is, really. I mean,
Yeah.
they're trying, but I don't know. It's just made for
Well, it's a
TV.
production. We just have to take it for what it's worth. I mean, I'll never
Right.
stop wanting to not watch. It's just I'm ever since I got into watching entire seasons, I don't like to just watch one show and then have to wait till the next week to watch the next
Yeah,
one.
no, I hear you. It's
I'm really
frustrating.
into just I'd
Yeah, we
rather
got
watch the whole
spoiled.
season. Yeah, I'm very
Netflix
spoiled.
spoiled us when they just gave us the whole season at once, and there
Yeah.
goes our weekend. But
Yeah, I well, not
I
even
get
one day. The last, what was it? The Last Kingdom came, just dropped new season. It took me one day to watch the entire season.
yeah. Some you're probably waiting
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah,
And,
and I watched
and
it all too because, I really liked it. So, that's the way I do that. But, I can because I don't work. So, I'm afforded that.
yeah, yeah, that's
Mhm.
true, Alex. Uh, they, that's what those people do. They steal other people's ideas, don't credit them for it, don't, anything help them out or anything. It's just they'll just steal from you and then go make it like it's their idea. They thought of it.
Oh yeah, I
Like
was looking at
the
that comment too. That Alex made there. But maybe you know what? Yeah, there. Yeah, maybe it's like
really?
maybe it's kind of like a convergent evolution type thing. Kind of like two different species could evolve in the same. Maybe it's kind of like that. Maybe they didn't actually steal your idea.
Oh, I
Maybe
see what
they
you're talking
had it at
about.
the same time. No, they probably stole your idea, dude.
Yeah, probably did. I could just see
Yeah,
them like watching all the YouTube
yeah,
videos of people who take it
yeah.
seriously. Like, okay,
They
we're gonna
probably,
take that
yeah,
idea, we're gonna take that idea, and we're gonna make it like it's ours.
yeah.
Beast in
Hey,
the Woods.
Yeah, there's some
you
really
never
good ones
can tell the
actually.
Hmm.
motives of some people.
Yeah.
That's a
Well,
freak ass going on. I like that.
Imitation is the best
Ooh.
form of flattery. We're just a bunch of dudes having fun in the woods. So funny that they'd want to copy us.
yeah. Well, we all know you're first, so
Yeah,
and those other people are ridiculous. The other crew.
We're all that matters.
Yeah. Nobody, nobody in the subject takes the
that's
expedition
right.
Bigfoot thing serious. It's
Uh,
TV. It's better than the
Yeah.
Alaskan Killer Bigfoot. God, that was so bad. Like so bad. I was watching YouTube while I was watching, the TV
watching
show
that.
because I was so bored and it
Oh
was
my goodness.
so they got Ron Moorhead on there too and he was out there doing his thing and he got a free trip to Alaska so he was like, "Oh, hell yeah." Looks like he's there for a day or two.
I don't
And
think I ever watched that. I don't think I ever
you're not
watched
missing
that.
much. They didn't find Bigfoot. It's just that whole Port Chatham mystery that they
Yeah.
have with where everybody went and it was that Nosferatu or
Yeah.
Nagasaki or whatever, some N word, not that N word, but an N word monster that lives there.
Uh-huh.
Naga, I don't know. Anyways, so it's a Bigfoot that lives there and terrorized it, killed everybody, ripped their heads off, and threw them in
Oh my
the
goodness.
water. And it's
Okay.
the reality is the reality of it is none of that's true, but it sounds good.
Nantuktuk. Nantuktuk.
Nananukatu.
Nantuktuk.
Nananukatu. I don't want to start like trying to pronounce it because I might say something I shouldn't by accident.
Mm.
But yeah, it's a terrible show. Don't watch it. I mean, you're not missing it. They didn't find Bigfoot. It was
Yeah,
just
well, I mean, I've seen some
crazy.
pretty terrible ones. So,
I need
Yeah,
to also go and watch all the
yeah,
episodes of The Proof is Out There or The Proof. What remember?
I like
What's it
that
called?
show. I don't always agree with
Because I've
them, but
seen
you know
it
what?
a
I
lot.
watch it.
They have a lot
Yeah,
of Bigfoot ones on there. Not to mention the
yeah,
last one about what's his face.
I
yeah.
mean, you can get some good Bigfoot series, TV shows. Like they're not geared towards it, but like a Monster Quest types, with Josh Gates or whatever, and you'll get some good Bigfoot ones in those. But it's all kind of more of the same.
Yeah.
There's some good channels that puts a lot of good work into their videos, and
Yeah.
um,
No, and that's you know what that's what I mentioned on my show earlier. That's and I repeat it, man. I'm curious about these up and coming documentarians we got going on here.
yeah, I
In this
got
whole
there.
thing now, man. You know, I'm kind of interested in seeing what we got one in the chat now, particularly Alex, man. I mean, these guys, I'm interested. I'm kind of excited about that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
they're not about trying to sensationalize it. They want to get out there and get it on film if possible, but they also want to come up with the data and everything else. I mean, so yeah,
and
I
and
like
take us
that.
along for the
I like
ride
that.
in an honest interpretation
Right,
of how their
right,
trip went.
exactly, exactly, and I like that. I
Oh, me
like that.
too.
I
Yeah,
think that
that's yeah.
you know,
Yeah, with them teaming up with Small Town Monsters, man, those guys are like that's like my favorite YouTube channel, really. It's like
Why does
it's
that name sound familiar? George Romero.
George.
Night
He's
of the
the
Living Dead.
What is
yeah, no, living dead guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
Night of the Living Dead.
okay, okay.
Still
So
hands
it's gonna
down the
be really
scariest
scary.
movie ever that I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, okay.
Oh, Night of the Living Dead, or
Yeah, the original black and white.
oh yeah,
Scariest
I like
movie I've
Shaun
ever
of the
seen in my
Dead.
life.
Shaun of the Dead. That's a good one. I had a zombie dream last night in the little sleep that I had. It was weird. It was like I was because I watched this like
Were they chasing okay, number 1, were they slow zombies or fast zombies?
they were like they were just like walking like just regular walking ones.
Okay.
But it was well, I was watching this like earlier in the day. I was watching this video game. This dude plays this video game. It's a Survivor one with zombies, and I think
Uh-huh.
that's what stuck into it. And the little sleep I got somehow that popped up. Okay, we're just gonna
Uh-huh.
screw with the rest of your night.
Uh-huh.
Give you a good zombie dream that you're gonna not sleep through. Really,
Those fast zombies freak me out.
yeah. Bigfoot versus
Now,
zombies. That's a good one.
here's something weird, Nikki,
There you go,
because
Alex.
I don't normally dream. I had a dream about Leon.
Did you? Yeah, we're thinking
You just
about him.
reminded me of that. I did. I had a dream about Leon last night, and I remember part of the dream. I don't know where we were, but it was outside. And I was like, "Hey, it's Leon!" And I go up to hug Leon. Leon's like, "Hey, I'm happy to see you, Joe, but I don't really want to hug you."
Oh, Joe.
That's
Joe had a
that's where the
bad
dream
dream.
ended. You know,
Oh my
he had
goodness.
yeah.
But that's
Well,
something you would say
but he no, it
probably.
wasn't a bad dream. But he had a smile on his.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a smile. His Leon
Yeah.
smile on his face. Like, yeah, I don't really want to hug you though. Good to see you. But yeah,
Well, it's because
so
we
that's
know
weird.
that
I
he's
had a dream
on
about
the
Leon.
mend,
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I think that picture that came out of him helped a lot of us to go, "Whew, okay, he's got a long road ahead, but at least, we can see he's standing, he's awake, he's not all hooked up to things." So I think that was a big deal for
yeah.
especially like Jay and, who needed that comfort of knowing that he was on the mend.
It's hard though. It's
Yeah.
just hard seeing him in that situation. It's like I have a hard time with it. It's just hard to
Hmm.
see him in such a compromising like situation like that. That's going to be so long term that he has to deal with. And man, I don't know. We all handle things differently, I guess. It's I don't know. That's tough, and because
It
it's so
is.
unexpected, and how he was you know found after a day or two or more. I mean, we
Yeah.
don't even know, but anyways,
Well, it makes it real, You never know when it could happen to any one of us.
yeah,
And it
Yeah.
shows how vulnerable we are and sometimes
Yeah.
we take things for granted on how we live our day-to-day lives. That just happens, and we have to live through it. That's life, you know.
Hmm.
Got to get up. The sun comes up every day.
No,
We
that's
just have to
true.
live our best life
Well, that's why I tell the
Yeah.
kids I love them every time, I leave
Absolutely.
or they leave or something,
yeah,
just 'cause, you just never know.
every day. When my
Yeah.
daughter goes to work, I love you. Have
Yeah.
a good day. Be careful on the way to work. You know,
Yeah.
I'm always to be the
Yeah.
defensive driver. You know, I have to say that because I don't feel good on days I don't say that to her. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true because it's like I can't even walk out the door. Like I'll
Hmm.
literally because I just can't go out without saying
Right.
that to them just because I don't know. It's just a weird thing. It's like how I always have to turn off the light when I leave a room.
Mm-hmm.
Just one of those embedded things.
Uh-oh, your light turner off.
Well,
My husband does
save
that
on
too.
electricity, man. That's a
I
good
go
practice to get
around and I
into.
turn all the lights on, and he goes right behind me and he turns them all off.
Yep, I'm that dad.
He
I'm
goes,
always
"Do you
on the
think
kids
Yeah.
like turn the lights
that
off.
that's for free?" And I go,
Yeah,
"It is for
exactly.
me.
I'm like, do you need all
You
these
pay
lights
the
in? It's
bills.
like,
I
Yeah.
don't."
so is there any new Bigfoot movies coming out? Do you guys know anything cool?
Mm,
Nothing. No good
Nothing that I've
documentaries.
heard of.
no.
Uh,
Have you guys been watching that Sasquatch
um,
Archives, the one by Todd Prescott?
I watch
Uh,
him every now and then. Yeah, when he
yeah,
pops
man,
up, I'll watch him.
he's got he's got
He's
some really
oh
good ones.
funny.
no, I haven't.
I was watching one, and Renee was on there, and he was talking about
Hmm.
he was talking to Krantz or something about the Freeman prints.
Right.
And is it true that Paul Freeman quit as soon as it came out? He lied about the when they brought Harden in, and he's like, "Yeah, these are all fake." And when Freeman admitted to it, is it true he quit just like days afterwards? So he didn't have that job for very long after he got caught doing that. Yeah.
You mean on going out and looking for
Maybe.
Bigfoot after
Uh,
that? Is that what you're talking about?
well, no, because
Or the
when Freeman worked at the watershed,
oh,
uh,
oh, oh, at the
yeah,
watershed.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, and he was like, "Oh,
I
look,
don't
guys,
know
these
that.
Bigfoot prints here," and so they brought in Harding, Joel Harding, I
Right.
think his name is,
Right.
to the professional track, and they're like, "Yeah, these are fake," and that's when Freeman admitted to it, and from what DeHinden said, that he quit his job at the watershed shortly after that. And I was just asking
Probably.
if I was just
I mean, what
asking,
would
trying
be
to
the
verify if
reason
that was true.
to not to falsify that? You know, I don't think there
I,
would be any reason to falsify that
yeah.
because you could
I
track
think
it
Thomas
down.
Steenberg would probably be the one to ask about that. He could probably shed light on that. Thomas could,
Yeah, because
because I
I
think I
just
heard
watched.
something similar, and it might have. Yeah, I think I might have heard something similar, but and I don't want to. And it might have been. I don't know. Nah, I don't want to put words in Thomas's mouth, but I'm sure that if anybody knew anything
Oh yeah,
about that,
yeah, he's
because
an
he
encyclopedia
knew
about
Paul
it.
Freeman too. So yeah, and he knew the man himself. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one to ask because I just watched that video last week and I was like, oh wow, I was really shocked by that because that's telling right there that he quit his job shortly after that because he, you know,
Right.
got caught doing that.
Because
And
if that's true, then that means his son was in the suit.
yeah,
And
most likely.
where's the suit?
Hmm.
not
Yeah, it
well,
makes you one.
not necessarily, but yeah,
Most
there's more of
likely.
a probability that it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm surprised nobody's reached out to the Freeman family to see if they would comment on it. I wish I mean, I could. I guess you could probably look them
You
through
don't think
Facebook or
anybody
something.
has?
Yeah,
Somebody's
I don't
had to
know.
have
I don't
already reached
know.
out.
no.
Uh,
Well, and
I've
they
reached
Because
might
out.
be like,
because
oh,
they're
really?
always saying that the son always says that no, my dad created the prince, but I was not in the suit. I was not in a suit. He's I know I've seen the quotes where he said that. I can't
Yeah,
remember where, but right now. But
But even then, he could still be deceptive, protect his dad, his legacy.
yeah, he could.
Because yeah, I mean, you don't want to have another Wallace thing where the family comes out saying, "Oh yeah, sorry guys, our dad and grandpa lied to you all. He was a faker." You know,
Well,
Detective
you know,
Legacy more.
and some people, I mean, people in that situation are going to react with, they may react with, after that kind of thing happens, it's like, all right, we're done. We're never saying anything about this, and we're done,
Yeah, well,
Right.
like
and that's it.
Renee DeHinden's family doesn't like Bigfoot subject because of what it did to Renee DeHinden, how it turned him
Yeah.
into an obsessive person that you know was too obsessive. There was no balance in his life. It was all Bigfoot all the time.
A lot of us have been there.
Yeah, well, it's important if you get into
Yeah.
subject to maintain a balance. That's incredibly important. Because if you start getting out of balance, you start, you know, affecting other people in your life negatively, and you definitely don't want to do
Right.
that.
Hmm.
Right.
So I just got to ask real quick: is it true that the rest of the footage to 168 is disappeared? Is it gone?
Oh,
Deleted?
is it? I don't know, but I heard that too.
I heard, yeah, I heard that from a couple of different people. I, uh,
How can
I,
that happen though if it's rendered and put into a system for editing? How can that happen?
I don't know.
Because first you
What?
have to download it to your computer, and then from your file you have to put that into a software. So you would have it one place here and then another place in the software.
I,
You would
I
have it
don't
in two different places.
I don't know. Doesn't this sound kind of fucked
And
up?
in your little
I
chip.
mean, this is this
That
is
doesn't make
this is
sense.
no, this is kind of screwed up, because this was something that these people came to basically us for, the
Why am I
people of the
whispering?
Bigfoot community to fund and give them all this money, buy them all this stuff off Amazon, buy them all these drones, and they're they're not delivering what they promised. It's just like Operation Sea Monkey, where the donors would promise something and not receiving it. This is the same thing.
Yeah,
I
but unless
mean,
the donors complain, it
well,
they're
why
not
would?
complaining. They're still go onto the channel and they still donate money
Well, yeah,
consistently,
but
and they're
do they
still
know?
paying for the monthly whatever it is that whatever they are.
Because nobody should be donating money to those people, because they're obviously not good at doing expeditions that's peer funded. They're not even delivering what they promise. That's like fraud in a way. I don't know. That's just hearing that is so disgusting, because you're taking advantage of people. And
Yeah, but if they don't know it, it's the same
well,
thing. Look at Rick Dyer. People gave him money constantly, the same people. And we were telling them over and over, don't do this. Not, it's not real. It's not. Even after the first hoax, then the second one happened and people were giving him money. And he made $100,000,
well, even this is a little different, because the people were
But
promised something. They were promised a 168-hour, documentary, or a 7-part documentary, or whatever he wanted to do, and he's not delivering it. And he should be held accountable for that, because he dropped the
what do you
ball on
think? He
it.
should give the money back?
Well, yeah, he should. I mean, and give, like, the don't like. I just don't get what he's doing. It just
Well,
seems like
yeah, that's the question of the hour. I mean,
yeah.
everybody's asking that. I've
And then I
heard
heard,
people all over saying that.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's something that he should probably not do anymore, or and refund the money and something, because he totally dropped the ball. And uh, man, I'm surprised it's not being talked about more, because this is
He'll
this
always
is
have
like
people
taking people's
defending him,
money.
so
Well, there's hardly any defense for it. He's not even delivering. It's like he's come up with a thing. Oh yeah, sorry guys, the footage is deleted or gone. It's like, come on, dude, that's so stupid. Just be honest and be like, oh, sorry guys. I mean, because honestly, the first 168, that was like, what the hell is that? I heard Mog's show last night, or the night before, whenever, and he was talking about it. I think that's probably one of the sources I heard from it. And just the disaster of what happened down there. And how it's kind of being
Right.
brushed underneath the rug, so it can happen again. And I don't like that. I don't think that we should allow it to be brushed underneath the rug. I think we should hold their feet to the fire and be like, no, dude, you don't deserve to be doing this stuff anymore, to
Yeah,
be
but
any sort of
anybody
leader in the subject.
bringing that up gets deleted and blocked, and then
Oh yeah,
that's
you can't go
you
to
can't
them.
bring it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, we can talk about it like we're talking about it now, and I encourage more people to talk about it because this is just going to get swept underneath the rug like Operation Sea Monkey. So all these people are going to get screwed out of their money. I would be furious. Like if I donated money to these
Right.
people, and this and all happened, man, I would be upset because I was deceived in what I was promised. It's it's really unfortunate, and I don't know. Maybe it's I want to try and see and get some more information about this because maybe I'll just do a video on it, talk about it, and it's
Hmm.
kind of screwed up, man. Because we shouldn't be allowing this, and what is it going to do for future people who are trying to get funding for expeditions? They're going to be like, hey,
Oh,
look at 168. That's
yeah.
why nobody's going to want to do anything because of that whole debacle. That's
Right.
looks like it's just fraudulent at this point. So I don't know. That's my rant.
Yep. Just like
Oh, I get it.
he says, he's getting a pass
No, he
I
because
mean,
doesn't. Carrie Arnold doesn't get a pass because he's some sort of influencer in the subject. He doesn't get a pass. He
why
needs
would
to
he
be
get
held
a pass?
accountable for this. Well, because he's Carrie Arnold. He's got
Why would
the
anybody get a pass? I mean,
Bigfoot Odyssey, and
well,
nobody,
but yeah,
nothing's
people do
happened.
give him
It's
a
been a
pass.
year already, hasn't it?
Yeah,
nobody,
people do give. Well, he
nobody
keeps
get a
like
pass.
nobody really knows what's going on because he like keeps changing it, and now apparently uh, footage is missing. Nothing's coming out this November, and I mean, I don't know. It just seems like
Yeah.
something that he completely screwed up and spent a lot of people's money on, and he's out doing it again, asking for more money for more expeditions to, I don't know, have the same luck as all the other time.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe everybody should chat about that more, and somehow maybe I don't know. I don't know what would happen, but
I don't
I'm
know.
not giving him a pass. That's fucked up, Gary Arnold. That is fucked up, buddy. I doubt he's watching this, but if he is, that's fucked up, buddy. You need to be accountable. Do better. Don't do any expeditions until you get this one like figured out and everything accountable. I would like to see receipts at this point. If I was the donors, I'm like, come on, man, let's see how transparent you really are. Where did all this money go? Where did all this gear go?
Mhm.
It's like, where did the money come from to buy your new truck? And questions need to be asked when you're dealing with a large sum of money, especially if you're going to keep asking the same people for the same amount of money, for the same amount of thing with the same amount of results. So I don't
Right.
know. I don't care about talking about because there's nothing Kerry or his posse can do or say at
That's
this point.
just our opinion. That's all it
Mm-hmm.
is, you know.
Yeah,
Well, it's not an
We
opinion; it's a fact. At this point,
well,
it's a
yeah,
fact.
there is a lot of
Everything I
facts
say,
to this,
yeah. I mean,
and a lot of people are talking about
he's
it, not just us. So
yeah. Well, he screwed up, man. He's man. He gave this subject a black eye because of whatever he was trying to do. I mean, I don't know if it was intentional, unintentional, but I'm not going to let it get swept underneath the rug. I'm going to talk about it every opportunity and
I
ask questions.
I
Really,
don't think I would call me giving him a pass, okay? Like
yeah.
that for me it's more like I didn't donate because I knew better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Same thing. Because I hold it in the same regards. I mean, the minute I knew who he was going to be associated with for that, um, I knew that it was not going to be good. It was going to be shady business. But I gave him the benefit of the doubt in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
hoping that he would go out there, and he had, aside from a couple, 2 or 3 guys that I knew I didn't trust already, he had a lot of other people who were out there that I did
Oh yeah,
like,
there's some good people
So
out
I
there.
wanted to believe that it was going to include everybody and we were going to see some great footage, whether it had Bigfoot or not. I didn't care. Okay. I didn't believe they were going to go out there and discover Bigfoot. I never believed that. But I was hoping we would still see some decent nightly footage of them being out there, boots on the ground. That's all.
I
I
know,
didn't care
and
about the history shit. I didn't care about
well, that
knowing.
history stuff was a filler, just so he didn't have to actually do any work on actually editing the thing, because it's so out of place. It doesn't even belong in there.
Yeah,
That whole part about his narration, those narrations, totally don't belong in this documentary because it's not about the narrations. It's about the boots on the ground,
right,
like he was promoting it and promising us. And
right.
you know, if he's not held accountable, he's just going to keep doing the same thing over and over again, and he's not going to learn his lesson. And
Mhm.
uh, it kind of sucks because, you know, uh, if we ever want to do some sort of big project and try and do peer funding, I'm not going to do it because it's just going to be like I don't want to get associated with the 168 stuff. Uh,
Right.
but it's just
I don't
even
even I don't care. I don't care about uh, I just don't care. I don't follow it. I don't want to care to follow
I
it.
don't follow it either.
I
I mean,
just
Yeah.
when Kerry kicked me out of the group, I unsubscribed to their channel and
mhm.
just kind of left and be like, "Oh, see you guys." And the only way I heard about them is through you guys or the
Yeah,
other people that were
right.
still kind of collaborate or checking them out and stuff. That's all I really heard about them, and I don't watch their channels or
Right.
anything. And
That's in
Yeah,
that one of those compartments that I've compartmentalized things in. They're in there.
right. They're in
And the
there
one
and they can do their whatever they want to do. I don't care. I'm
they're in
not
that one
I don't
compartment
associate
that I don't
anymore.
pay a lot of attention to.
mm,
Because of a name that, again, my own personal opinion, a name that somebody in chat brought up, and I just don't buy any of his crap. It's all pareidolia. Sorry.
that's funny. That I've been
That's my
talking to that
honest
dude for the last
opinion
couple
of
of
it.
weeks. He's
That's
been
my
private
honest
messaging
opinion
me.
of it.
He's been private messaging you?
All
Yeah, I've been talking to
pareidolia.
him.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know actually. I got a message from him, and it was in my where you send it out or they send it to the spam or the
Yeah.
filtered and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't really check those. Check your filters, guys, because you probably got some messages there you probably want to read that I didn't realize I had. I'm like, oh shit. So yeah, I found his message there, and yeah, he was just telling me about his research, how how they're the bomb, how they're getting all this evidence, how nobody believes them, how Doug
He
Highcheck, all these
said that
people screwed him
himself?
up. Yeah, yeah, and
No,
you
that's
know,
very telling. That's very
yeah.
telling.
Well, it's because don't know how to interpret the pictures that he's showing. Uh, but it's one of those things where I think he truly believes this. He believes what he's saying to me. I believe him
Yeah.
when he
Yeah, a
says he
lot of
sees those
I've said that
faces.
several times that
Yeah.
I felt like he believes in what he's
100%.
doing,
Yeah, same with like Carpenter
And
and stuff. They believe it. I don't think Carpenter was a hoaxer. When they called him a hoaxer, I just think he's so far down that rabbit hole that he doesn't realize that he's down that rabbit hole and, you know,
yeah.
creating stuff out of nothing. So I don't really consider Carpenter a hoaxer or anything. I just, Arzaski or any of them, they just believe in something that they have so much invested in that they can't back out of, and they just have to keep going down deeper and deeper because to back out of what
Mm-hmm.
they got into, it's impossible at this point because their whole
Right.
narrative and career is built around that. And to say, hey, sorry guys, I was wrong, a little harder in that situation than me
Right.
or you in our situations.
Right,
But
right.
yeah, it's interesting. I actually still have to message him back because he was talking to me about. Because I was telling him, I'm like, yeah, dude, more people would believe you if if you show us how these pictures are done. And I was explaining the whole enhancement, AI enhancement,
Mhm.
and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, dude, if you want, this is like what I would need to verify your stuff, and that's what it's all about. Getting is verification, and this is what you need to do. And his response back was completely something else that had nothing to do with what I
Nothing.
just talked about. So he completely ignored what I
Uh,
talked about to go on to force the evidence on you. He's very forceful. He's very aggressive on getting you to believe his evidence, and that's also I don't know if I told him that about how it turns people off to what he's presenting because he's too aggressive about it. And when you have to force people and you have to insult people because they don't see your evidence or they don't believe you because of this whole Bigfoot narrative that you created, yeah, I
right.
don't know. But it's been a fun conversation. I just feel he's more talking to me and not listening to
Oh,
anything I'm saying.
yeah. Well, yeah. And you're right. He does killed by Bigfoot. He does try to keep an track of what's going on. He's got a lot of things going right now. And I think maybe too many things,
Oh, is
too
that
many
Carrie?
channels. Yeah, I think he's talking about Carrie and
Oh
how
yeah, God,
he
him and
doesn't.
Mark have this Shutter channel too, and it seems like they're trying to do all
It's a
this
lot of
different stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, and it sounds like
Um,
that 168 was just too
and
big.
trust me, I've talked with Carrie many times. I've been on his show before. I've talk I we chat, okay? So when there's something I've said and it's been taken wrong, he's contacted me directly about it. Did you say this? And I tell him exactly what I've said. I tell him, "No, yes, this is what I was saying. Go back and look." There are people who go back to him with information about, all these other channels,
Yeah,
and they misconstrue what's being said completely.
yeah. Well,
And I've proven that several times to him already. So,
yeah.
um, he knows he can come directly to me, and ask me what I think, and he knows what I think. And I've don't bring him up very often, and because I don't care, that's his thing. I'm really trying not,
Mhm.
to get into any more drama.
Mhm.
So, I'm letting it play out, right?
Right.
You just let it play out.
Mhm.
Um, I'll
So
do
if
my
any
thing.
drama results from my comments, everybody needs to direct it towards me and not Nikki. Direct it towards me, and honestly, I wouldn't even bother trying because I'm not even going to care. I'll probably laugh at the comments and
Right.
And not care about it.
and just not care because
But
I'm
it's
very.
still my opinion, your opinion.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because
Well, it's just true.
he still has 150,000 subscribers. That's or whatever it is. I don't know. I just said that a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
yeah.
not going to make a damn big difference at all about what I say.
Hmm.
I don't have anybody on. I got a little bitty
But
channel.
you can get in their head, get in their head, and
You
make them
can.
think.
You can make
Make them
them
think.
think,
Like,
Maybe.
but
maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe he's right. I don't know.
maybe.
But
I
yeah,
don't know.
that's just one of the things. You just got to let it kind of play out and see how the rest of it unfolds. Because if it's true that like the footage is just mysteriously gone, all the evidence and stuff, it's like
That is not correct. That can't be. That just
that
cannot
would
be in
be.
this day and age. That can't be. That can't
Because
happen.
I've heard from a few different people that they have evidence and stuff that they can present, but they don't know if they could or should because they don't know what's going on with Carrie in the 168. So there's stuff out there that we could see. I know Blake is starting to post more of his evidence and stuff that he's collected
Oh,
from
yeah.
168. And
Just like
I think
Mog
Moggs
says
was
he's gonna
talking.
show some of his stuff
Yeah.
too.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I really encourage Moggs to do that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
to
I
just make a
wanna
standalone video and just kind of see it.
it's already been way over and he never signed anything like an NDA
Yeah.
or uh gave his footage in any way to be Bigfoot Odyssey, so he should do what he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's yeah, something.
Well, hey guys, I gotta hit it. It's
Yeah,
one
we've been over 2 hours. I
here.
can't believe it.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
So,
I appreciate you asking me on, Nikki. That's awesome.
yeah, go get some
Yeah.
rest, buddy.
Good
Okay,
We're
seeing
cool.
you
gonna
again,
we're
Brett,
gonna
as
end it here
always.
pretty
Yeah, you
soon
too,
too.
man.
Okay.
And
Have a good night.
And
Thank you
I
for
like your
being
hat,
here.
Joe. I
Hey,
like it.
thank you, thank you. It's
Yes, sir.
my it's my Samuel L. Jackson hat.
I like it.
So, all
Motherfucker.
right, that's right.
All right, man.
See you later,
Talk to
folks.
See ya.
Bye. So wow. Okay. So I'm trying to read this from Alex for like 3 times now, but every time I go to read it moves on me. Has offered to go out with him with a great camera gear that would settle things.
Yeah, if I can give any warning, I would just stay clear. Stay clear. Plant a red flag and just stay clear of
I-
that investigator
Alex,
because
what is that? Why? Why?
hmm?
Oh, it's my dog. I'm like, what am I hearing? My dog snoring. Um, if, Alex, who uses an iPad out in out in the woods? For goodness sakes!
Well, it's the only thing that will maintain its battery power. With a little
No,
tiny sensor like this, little
is that what he
tiny
really is? That
sensor.
way? Why is that what he says?
Yeah.
My battery lasts like half an hour.
Well, he has battery drain problems with some of his cameras, so
Look,
he can't take them out. And the iPad is the only reliable one.
yeah,
And I was
but
also telling
it's
Zasky too. I'm
already
like,
known that the iPad camera manipulates the photos
yeah, well, that's
instantly.
what I was telling Zasky too. I'm like, dude, if you want your evidence, this is a long paragraph that I wrote him and stuff, and my long rant paragraphs. And so I was telling him, like, dude, if you want us to better understand or better believe what you're doing, we need to understand or better see what your software that you're using on the iPad, what the latest update is, what kind of we need the specs of what you're using, the software that you're using, so we can see if something is being unintentionally or intentionally, more unintentionally, artifacts created from the enhancement that he's doing. And again, he didn't respond back to that. I don't think he probably read it, but yeah,
What?
I would just stay clear from him, guys. He's in his own kind of rabbit hole,
Yeah.
and he's
Kind
too
of like that
aggressive.
guy that was that was emailing us.
Oh
That
yeah, yeah.
oh my
He's still
god.
emailing me
I
after.
he sent me a huge long
I
thing.
Yeah, he sent so everybody in
And
chat and watching this. So this guy is like trying to like mentor me, I guess. I don't know. And he has like all
yeah.
this revealed wisdom about Bigfoot that he thinks I'm a good trainee, I guess. And so he sent me, Nikki, and I don't know who else, emails about how much I suck in the woods, how much I have no
Yeah.
skills outdoors, and how I'm all fluff or whatever. And I'm like, wow,
But he
that's
likes
crazy.
me.
Yeah, yeah. He likes you, yeah. And because he sent Nikki the same type of email,
Yes,
like
long. I've
long
never
email.
received a letter that long before.
Yeah, and I told him, dude, if you're going to send me stuff, you need to break it up in paragraphs because those long,
Running.
single paragraph things, I can't do it. It's like, oh, well, he still won't do it. It's still a
Oh,
very long paragraph that he sends to me,
uh-huh.
and he's still sending it to me, or he's still emailing me. Like I think the other day he sent me. It's like he writes in the subject. He's like, and one more thing, like trying to give advice. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know who this guy is,
Yeah,
and
he only goes by, oh, wait, I think he did tell me his last name or his first name.
yeah, I don't know.
I can't remember now, but I mean, I
I don't know.
sent him a nice little note back the first time, and then I
Yeah,
got the big long one the second time, and I haven't responded back because I really don't know what to say. I don't know what he wants me to reply to him in regards to that letter.
yeah. It was.
Um,
That's a. You can get a lot of insight with how he like attacks you and stuff, or attacks me and stuff. And
mhm.
because man, like the email that he sent me, I was just like nothing good. It was like I
His
think,
Bigfoot are not good though. His Bigfoot have attacked him, so they're not
yeah.
very good Bigfoot.
And so this dude has all this wisdom about Bigfoot. So I go on his YouTube channel. It's like, what the fuck? Where's your Bigfoot evidence or Bigfoot stuff? Where's anything? It's just another situation where it's like, people offer up information that don't have the evidence to back it up, and how much should we believe that stuff, and
Right.
people are having all these experiences, encounters, really successful at finding them and stuff. It's like, and they don't have evidence to prove of it. You'll give them the benefit of doubt for so long, but then there's a certain point where it's like, shoot, you're gonna have to start coughing something up if you're this successful and have this much knowledge and you're able to get this close to them, and
Right. I don't know.
yeah.
That's kind of disturbing, some of the stuff I read, though. So
I,
that's what
I
made me not want to respond again.
Yeah, honestly, I skimmed through a lot of it, so I probably missed some of the bad stuff that it was telling me. And
Yeah.
I don't know if Bigfoot's bad and he's there in front of me and wants to eat me. I don't know. Not much I could do at that point, I guess, huh? I
I
don't think
know.
that's gonna happen. I always
I
carry a
don't
knife
I
on me.
don't think so. I
Stab 'em.
think a lot of people would be coming out with that information if they were
Mhm.
being attacked like he was attacked
Oh,
and
was he
how they
attacked?
attacked him. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It almost killed him. Yeah.
Whoa, physical attack. Wow.
Yes.
I gotta go back and read those emails, huh?
Yeah. For
Wow.
sure.
Wow, that's crazy. That's I don't know.
It is what it is. I mean, what do you do with that?
Not much. I just it's just one of those things where you just get it and be like, huh, that's interesting. Don't really have any
I
sort of
told him you were learning.
yeah. Yeah. I'm just a noob,
But
guys.
you're a young guy and you're learning and
I'm just a noob. You
you're
gotta give me
finding your
some
way.
slack.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
I go, he's finding his way.
yeah. Well, the thing is, I've never like declared anything like I'm good at anything in this subject. In fact,
Yeah.
more downplay everything. And he was like really
Night, Miss
like,
Dill.
I'll see you
Thanks for
later.
coming.
But yeah, he was he's quite the character. You'll run into those guys or those type of people in this subject, and for the most part, like this guy, it's fun, it's benign, it's no real harm, no foul.
Right. He's yeah.
Just get those
Maybe a
long
little
emails.
lonely. Need somebody to talk to about this stuff.
Yeah, and I would love to, but man, I really am just having a hard time keeping up with the Bigfooting stuff now. Like I still have so many messages to get back to, and I still have to get back to Will Jeving too.
Oh yeah. So you have to watch Brent's last one, or have you posted another one since Woohoo?
Oh yeah, I posted the one with Alan. It's only like a 2 minute,
okay.
41-second one.
So not the last one, but the one before that. You've got to go watch Brent. He does an excellent Bigfoot call.
Yes.
You will.
And I think that this is going to be it's going to be more prominent going forward. I think a lot of more people are going to be using this call to call in the Bigfoot.
Wouldn't that be something if that becomes a thing?
All these guys out there.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Okay, Squatching Cowboy Joe. That's your mission. Next time you're out in the woods, you need to do a little video of you going woohoo.
Yep. You gotta do it.
And then you have to send it to me, okay?
Yes. So let's everybody get out there and do a video and just do that and send it, and we'll make a collage. That'll be hilarious.
Oh my god.
That would be hilarious.
We could send it to Leon. Maybe that's we need
a good cheer up thing. Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah.
We'll send him your original, and then after that, all the
be a big thing and get like 10, 20 different people doing it.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
Get a new trend. Yes, I'm an influencer. Woo! Good thing to influence, huh?
That's good. That's good times right there. See, that's how it should be fun. Things should be fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you guys, I think we're done for the night.
Yeah, I'm getting senile. I'm
giddy,
crazy. And, I'm like on my fifth wind. I think
I'm already
right now.
getting a headache from the rum.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I still might be drunk from yesterday, but maybe. I don't know.
Tequila hangovers are not good.
Yeah.
For sure. So
Yeah, it was great.
you all of you beautimous people out there, thank you again for coming and joining me on another late night. I sprung this one on you last minute. I mean, totally last minute. I'm like, is anybody going to be here? Who knows? I don't know. So again, thanks, Brent, for coming and showing up. And tomorrow. No, what's today? Today's Friday. Sunday. So I gotta come up with something for Sunday, which I will be doing tomorrow until I take my daughter to the amusement park in the evening.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice.
maybe I should do a live from the park tomorrow night.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That would just be kind of fun to see.
Mhm.
Western Playland. So anyway, it's gonna be busy. So love you guys. Have a good night. Good night, Brent. Thanks.
All right. See you guys later.